now as the chairman of the Kennedy Center. So I wasn't necessarily surprised to see that venue chosen. Obviously, you needed a large facility to accommodate the great number of people who turned out last night. But in communities all across this country, starting Wednesday night and really continuing almost on a daily basis, you have seen churches open their doors, community centers open their doors, schools. The list goes on and on of people remembering the life and the legacy of Charlie Kirk. It's truly phenomenal. I was speaking with who was at a school and led a prayer in Charlie's memory among the students, and was just surprised, really surprised that he had millennials and Gen Z in particular. His videos and the confrontations and debates that he would have with those on the left who didn't share his points of view are everywhere, and probably even more prominent today, Vic, than they were when he was alive. It's truly phenomenal. You've heard TPUSA say that they've had a whole number of inquiries to start new chapters in colleges and high schools, and I can't think of a better thing to do in Charlie's memory.
Something like this, one would think, would bond this country back together, get us back together, because, my God, somebody was murdered so terribly, and it was on video. But it's done just the opposite. It's split us apart even more. And that's not our fault, by the way.
It's true. I do think that there are some sincere people who are on the left of center who this has shaken them to a core, as it should. But sadly, the leaders, those people who should be serving as role models, have, I think, unfortunately, not lived up to this moment. You still see this desire on the left to have violent rhetoric toward you, me, and the everyday American who might have conservative views. I mean, you don't have to necessarily be somebody who works in media or government or a role where you're in a public facing position. I mean, anybody who expresses an opinion that might be contrary to the left's view of the world is greeted with scorn and condemnation and sometimes threats of violence. It's terrible. This is exactly what Charlie Kirk was, by the way, trying to prevent. I mean, this is why he engaged in these open debates and dialogues, because he wanted to have a conversation with individuals who disagreed with him, as opposed to resorting to violence. And I attribute a lot of this, Vic, to the loss of belief in God and abandonment of faith in this country. I don't know how we can restore that in younger generations, but certainly it is deeply troubling to see so many people react the way they have.
And his wife, Erica, and her address was so powerful, Rob. I thought it was one of the most powerful speeches in American history. I know it sounds very exaggerated and hyperbole, but boy, what a speech.
Yeah, she did. I was honestly surprised to see her speak so soon, but I think that not only did the American people need to hear that, but particularly all of those individuals who knew Charlie, if not personally, through his videos or through the chapters that he helped inspire in so many places across this country, in schools, colleges, and high schools. I think needed to hear from Erica, and she certainly delivered. And that particular line where she spoke directly to the assassin and said, you have only, propelled me to fight for Charlie's legacy even greater than you would have ever imagined before. And that's, I think, what you're seeing. Now, there are going to be other things that we find out this week. I think we're expected to get some more information tomorrow. But one of the other things that I would like to call your listeners' attention to is an effort that's being led by Congressman Chip Roy in Congress. He's a congressman from Texas. He wants to establish a select committee in Congress to study how there's been this network of actors on the left who have resorted, to this type of violence and behavior. And he says, that there are high-profile incidents like the two assassination attempts on Donald Trump and the 2017 shooting of Republican lawmakers, including Steve Scalise at a softball or baseball practice. But there are other things that typically you might not even know about. And I mean, we've talked about this in recent weeks, and the crime surge in this country that's a direct result of George Soros funded district attorneys and judges who let criminals out on the streets, including the Charlotte attack and murder of a Ukrainian refugee. So I mean, there are all sorts of things that I think we need to recognize and grapple with that are problems in our country, and I think that conservatives truly do have the answers, Vic. It's just going to be difficult for us sometimes to accomplish those goals, but we can't lose sight or get discouraged in moments like this.
So the movement that Charlie Kirk started at quite a young age, by the way, there wasn't hate, there was nothing Nazism, there was nothing fascist about it. It was free speech, and he always allowed the other side. Not only did he allow the other side to speak at these college campus appearances, but he also, anybody who vehemently disagreed with him got moved right to the front of the line. And
right.
That, I mean,
yeah.
how can you argue with that?
I know, and that's the thing. Vic, that I've worked in the conservative movement for a long time, basically my entire professional career, and obviously there are a number of youth-led organizations that make up the movement. But there was something special about Charlie Kirk and the approach that he took at TPUSA, and I think that's why it resonated so much with that younger generation, because at a time when so many of these institutions in our culture, whether it be schools, academia, Hollywood, media, government, you go down the list, have been captured by the left. Here you had somebody who was part of a counterculture that was willing to stand up and not only articulate in such a smart and an intelligent way the conservative beliefs that he championed, but also, as you indicated, not to shy away from any argument. I mean, I give Charlie all the credit, because there would be plenty of times where I'd say, I would not want to find myself in that situation, having to answer that question. But he did it. He did it every day of his life.
And Rob, the left, they actually created the narrative of Charlie Kirk being a fascist. They created all of these different things, just like they did with Donald Trump. They called him names, and people and the media followed it. And none of it was ever true. And that's what they're living on right now. And I think the contrast between the reaction of the left, or the reaction actually of the left with George Floyd, for example, and burning down cities, and the reaction of the right burning candles in vigils for Charlie Kirk, I think that's a very stark contrast. And I hope America sees that. Do you think they will?
Wow, that is a brilliant way of putting it. I had not thought of that comparison, but you're absolutely correct in that respect. I hope that the American people can see through those headlines and those mean-spirited comments that were on MSNBC and other places. I honestly think that the left has overreached here. You had David Hogg over the weekend, basically saying that he expects to be assassinated next, and when that happens, he hopes that people rally for gun control. And I'm thinking, wow, you've completely missed the point of the conversation that we're trying to have in this country. And I just don't know. I think that people on the left are so committed to their ideology, and they hate conservatives with such a passion. I don't necessarily know if there is a way to get them to change their mind. But I do know this, Ken. I think that the vast majority of the American people are ultimately on our side. They don't always turn out to vote. They don't always necessarily call their member of Congress or let their voice be heard. Sometimes they're referred to as the silent majority for a reason. But ultimately, I do think they know what is right and wrong.
I find David Hogg even hinting that he's as influential as Charlie Kirk is just disgusting. That guy has...
Yeah, it is.
People don't even know his name. That's illusions of grandeur, in my opinion.
Yeah, certainly. Well, and that was kind of the reaction he got is how dare you not only make this comparison, but use this as a moment to shine the spotlight on you,
right?
to draw more attention to yourself. which is exactly what it seemed like he was doing.
All right, we got to go over a little bit, okay? Because I got one thing here,
yeah.
and then I'm going to do Rob's thing for us. So, Charlie Kirk, one thing that he did was register people to vote, and he probably registered them to vote Republican because he changed a lot of minds. So, who, Rob, takes over for Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's there's always going to be somebody who's going to have to step up. We didn't, there were great organizations in the conservative movement that were appealing to young people, Young America's Foundation and Leadership Institute and others. And here comes along Charlie Kirk with a different model. So I would imagine that not only is TPUSA going to continue to thrive and succeed, but there could be other young people that we don't even know about yet who might be in high school right now or middle school or even younger, who will come and seize the technology of the day and make the most of it. But certainly in terms of his crew at TPUSA, I don't think that they're going anywhere. I only would imagine that they're going to grow stronger.
See, here's the thing. Charlie memorized the Constitution front and back, and he memorized the Bible front and back.
Yeah.
So if anybody's going to step in and do these college things, that's their homework. And Scott Pressler is the only guy I really can think of who might be that guy. Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, we asked you, Rob, to do a favor for us. And I swear to God, Ken sent this to me last night. Jessica's sitting on her part of the couch. I'm on my part of the couch. And it just started going, oh my God. For this.
In this particular case, carjacking's down, robbery's down, no murders for a period. Whoosh, all of the numbers incredibly dropping.
Rob Bluey throws whoosh into a Newsmax interview. You are the best, man. Thank you so much.
I'll keep looking for more opportunities, guys. Thanks.
Oh, you got to pass them along if you get them.
You got to hit one more time. Can you play it one more time?
Oh yeah.
It's so great.
In this particular case, carjacking's down, robbery's down, no murders for a period. Whoosh, all of the numbers incredibly dropping.
Rob, thank you, man. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
oh my God. I jumped out of my socks.
And the video is so funny because you could tell in his face when he does it, it's like, aha, I
Vic
did
and
it.
Ken, this is for you. Oh my God. So great. So there you go. Whoosh has now made a national appearance. Okay. Coming up next, that's crap. Terris, Todd, what a great conversation this is going to be. And Ken, I don't know if you've noticed a lot of videos on TikTok, whatever the platform is that they use, Instagram, of black people saying, what have you guys done? This was the free speech guy. Why did you do this?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so we'll see what Terris has to say. He's coming up next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Whoosh, says Rob Bluey.
Follow us on Rumble at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Whoosh.
On NewstalkSTL. St. Louis's new choice for conservative talk.
The Democratic Party doesn't stand with what I stand for.
News Talk STL.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
From home improvement to replacement, do-it-yourself electrical projects can be shocking. That's where Grasser Electric can help. They've been lighting up St. Louis for years. From ceiling fans and dimmer switches to repair or replacing your electric. No job is too big or too small for your home or business. Grasser Electric will even install emergency backup generators. So call Grasser Electric today before the sparks start to fly. 636-441-5200 or go to grasserelectric.com.
Hi, I'm Rodney Wallner.
And I'm Jen Wallner with the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway.
Hey, Jen, how do you sell your home for top dollar?
That's easy. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What if I want a flexible commission plan?
Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What's the best time to sell your home?
Right now, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
For all your real estate needs, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
That's 314-810-SOLD.
Dude, this house is perfect. Crumbs everywhere, sticky counters. I've already texted the colonies.
Sweet, I'll bring my 500 cousins. This'll be the biggest ant rager of the summer.
Let's party! Wait, what's that sound? Oh, no, it's those trucks with the green wheels. Party's over, man. Party's over.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888 to learn more about our special $67 offer.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Download the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
Love the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
On my way to work in the morning.
Usually I'm in the car.
I listen on the app in my car every morning going to work.
Download the NewstalkSTL app and listen anytime, anywhere. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
On Newstalk STL.
To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment.
That is Erica Kirk from, I believe, Friday night. And I watched, the whole thing was about 17 minutes long. And I said, my God, what kind of strength does this woman have to do this?
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of her with Charlie in the casket?
No.
Yeah. It starts at his tie. They don't show his face. Starts at his tie, the camera goes down, and once it gets down to about his hand, actually, is when you see Erica's head. All you see is the back of Erica's head holding his hand while he's in the casket. This is, God, Ken, this is one of the darkest moments in this country's history.
It really is, and I'm struggling right now because I mean, I've gone through so many different emotions, Vic. You know that because of Friday, but it went from sadness to anger, back to sadness to anger again. And I think, it's going to find a level off point. And I think we all need to find it, but it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. It needs to be on the offensive. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit back and allow this to happen, but we've got to use words and not a rifle.
I forgot to tell you this. I meant to tell you this right from the beginning. What kinds of surprises for you today?
Oh, awesome.
Not necessarily surprised, but you talked about being on the offensive. How long have we been talking about that? At least a month, right?
Yeah. Oh, at least, yeah.
Ken, there has not been a bigger personification of being on the offensive than the Department of War.
Yep. That's exactly right. When I heard about that, I thought that was awesome.
From the Department of Defense. It clearly states we're on the defensive, Department of Defense.
Exactly right.
And now it's the
right.
Department of War. Don't screw around unless you want to get your ass kicked. I mean,
exactly.
I thought of you immediately. I was like, oh my God, this is being on the offensive to the nth degree.
It is, because our leaders are now on the offensive.
And that's what we need. All right, Ken, I think it's time to just calm down, have some fun if we can, because it's time for everybody's favorite game show. That's crap.
Welcome to That's Crap. It's the game where we find out if it's the truth or if that's crap. Here's the host of That's Crap, Vic Porcelli.
Thank you, Jim Aldrin. Hey, Ken's back. Studio audience. Yes. Oh, my God. I love you, Ken. All right. So as Jim mentioned, we just find out if it's the truth or if that's crap. It's just an easy game to win. You could walk away with a copy of our home game, which is fun to play in the living room. It's true if that's crap. And they can't even do it. The liberals who are on the show as contestants just can't do it. So our contestant today is Nicole Wallace, who worked for a Republican president, didn't he? Wasn't she in W's?
I think so.
Administration,
which makes sense now.
And now she's a crazy libturd on MSNBC. So this is who calls for violence, who likes violence, the left or the right. That's the category. Ken, put 20 seconds on the clock. Nicole Wallace, good luck.
The permission structure for violence. You've got polls about political violence. Democrats don't think it's a good idea. Only Republicans. Only people inclined to consume conservative media are now, I think, upward of 50% say that if necessary, violence is okay. You've only got the conduct on one of the two sides.
I think, it's funny when she said 50%, I think. Like she threw in the I think as a little just afterthought.
Right.
Because she knows it's not true. So she has to say I think, so it's her opinion, and she's not stating fact.
Right.
And they do that all the time. We've heard them do that a million times. So according to Nicole Wallace, I just want to make sure I got this right because you heard it, I heard it. She's saying that it's the right, it's us that want political violence.
Right. Correct.
See, here's what, and this goes back to gun control, because that was the first thing out of all the liberals' mouths is gun control after Charlie Kirk got shot, right?
The moment.
And the people who you want to take the guns away from, Ken, me, conservative people around the country, 2A followers, but we're the ones that own the guns responsibly.
Right. And the big thing about Charlie Kirk was they kept saying, see, Charlie, gun control. I mean, that was disgusting. That was the sickest thing I heard. See, you got shot because we have guns, right? No, what Charlie Kirk always said was, here's the comparison. We have to allow 50,000 deaths in this country a year because we drive cars. It's an acceptable thing. It's something we can't avoid. Now, we have a choice here. We can get rid of all the cars.
Car control.
We can get rid of all the cars.
Right.
Now, what does that mean? That means Uber's gone.
Right.
That means going out every night, running
Driving
down to
to
the
work
gas
is
station,
gone.
driving to work's gone. You want days, you got to live where you work. Okay, I'm just telling you, that's the price you pay for being able to drive your car everywhere. Now, he's saying in comparison, you've got to have, there has to be some type of trade-off to own guns. And why do you want to own guns? Because of a tyrannical government.
That's right.
Period.
Okay, beautiful.
End of story.
Absolutely. It's not, yes, you can defend yourself with it, all that stuff. But the initial reason for the Second Amendment was to defend yourself against a tyrannical government, which, by the way, was the government under Joe Biden.
Yes.
He
even threatened.
So I don't want to hear it from her. Can you do me a favor? I just want to, because I don't want to jip Nicole Wallace. Can you play it one more time? I just want to make sure that we make the right decision, Ken.
The permission structure for violence. You've got polls about political violence. Democrats don't think it's a good idea. Only Republicans. Only people inclined to consume conservative media are now, I think, upward of 50% say that if necessary, violence is okay. You've only got the conduct on one of the two sides.
I think it's up to 50%. She thinks. You know why she thinks? Because she doesn't know.
Exactly right.
So I'm sorry, Nicole, but that's crap. Poor Nicole walks away without a copy of our home game.
It's amazing that she's saying even those words, because the left is they're fomenting violence on a daily basis. And we're not just talking about people on social media, which they are every day, but we're talking about the leaders of the Democrat Party, Hakeem Jeffries, every one of them.
Okay. You just made me think of something here. So let's wrap up. That's crap. And then I want you to play something, Ken, that goes exactly along with what we're saying, at least having Nicole Wallace as the contestant. So that's all the time we have for That's Crap.
This is Jim Modulin speaking for That's Crap, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman radio production.
That's Crap is recorded in front of a live television audience. This is Vic Porcelli saying, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Number 9, Ken?
Yeah.
I lost my mind on this one. My wife sent this to me, and I want to be upfront and honest with this. I judged a book by its cover. Okay. I looked at this girl, and she looked like a lib. She just looked like a lib, you know. She had the glasses.
The confusion was, though, she has naturally red hair.
It's my fault. It's absolutely my fault. She has red hair. She has glasses. She got the David Letterman teeth. She's got a piercing tongue, you know. And I was like, oh, God, what is this about? And then this is what she actually said.
Alrighty, this message is for President Trump and his administration. If you stay to watch the video, please tag him down below, share, and repost so we can try to get this to him as quickly as possible and hope that he can do something with this. President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act, you make it a law, and you make it damn near impossible for these people to continue to lie to the American public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country. Fines out the ass, which will damn near bankrupt their companies should they lie to the American people ever again. They can have their opinions, that's fine. They need to state that it is their opinion and that it is not a fact. Because of their constant lies, a man lost his life over it. Because of the constant hateful rhetoric of calling him a fascist and a Nazi and a white supremacist and a bigot, the same thing that they called you, this man is dead. I think this would be a great legacy for him to have a law named after him to force journalists to finally start telling the truth and having the integrity that they have lacked for over a decade. I hope that this gets to you. I hope that you think about it and that you pass it into law. Because we are on a dangerous path right now with the constant lies and the propaganda. And that doesn't end just at news journalists. It needs to go to content creators who consistently spread lies and propaganda and half-truths across the internet. This needs to end. And people need to start being held accountable for baseless claims over absolute abysmal things. It needs to end. So please, if you have it in your heart to have the time to do this, get this in front of Congress, get this passed as a law, and start holding these news corporations, be they right, left, or center, accountable for their behavior. Thank you.
So her online name is Ellie Mae, and she wants Trump to revisit the Smith-Mundt Act, keeping journalists accountable. Who's been saying that for the last
it really makes you wonder in retrospect why Joe Biden, or actually Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of that.
Well, it's obvious though, right now?
Oh, now, yeah, in retro, yeah,
obvious.
Sure.
So, and Ellie, I am sorry, I misjudged you by your looks. I will never do that again. Hear somebody out. What an idiot! What a jerk I am for that. And by the way, he did see this. President Trump did see this, and he reposted it. Nothing about the cookies, by the way. Nothing about the cookies.
Nothing at all. But the great thing is on Truth Social, he did post it, and she's standing there. She did an update on the video.
Oh, no way.
Look at this. Look at this.
Great.
This is me.
Great.
And it's on Truth Social. And look at that name right there. That's President Donald J. Trump who reposted it.
Oh, my God. I love it. Absolutely love it. Ellie Mae, great job. Good research. Smith-Mundt Act. Called the Charlie Kirk Act. Called Charlie Kirk Act.
That would be a great testament to him.
So what's the deal with race in this country, especially after something as vicious as what happened last Wednesday? Terris Todd from Project 21 and the National Center for Public Policy Research. Sorry, on 101.9, 94.1 NewstalkSTL. Welcome home. Can't be wrong.
Follow us on Rumble at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
A vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now.
On NewstalkSTL.
You know what, Ken? When, I'm from New Jersey, okay? So hurricanes, nor'easters, all that stuff happen all the time. And the news say, businesses and homes are boarding up for the storm, and oh look, they're lining up to get vaccinated to protect them from the hurricane. God almighty. All right, let's talk about Chris Cooper. He's one of our greatest friends, and he's such a great guy, and he knows how to make you welcome. He knows how to make you feel comfortable with a certain situation, because a lot of people are just, trepidatious about talking about money. I don't want to talk about money. What if he thinks I don't have enough money? What if he thinks I'm an idiot because I spent all my money? Well, you don't have to worry about that when you go into Chris Cooper. I don't know how it is at other places. They could say, what are you, an idiot? You didn't save any money? Are you stupid?
Right.
Right? I don't know. They might not. I don't know. But Chris definitely not. He'll say, do you want some pretzels? They may make you thirsty. And then you're like, hey, wait. That's a Seinfeld reference,
I get that.
isn't it? I get that reference. But who's that? Kramer? What is this? A coffee table book? He takes things easy and fun, okay? Clearly, with his obsession with Seinfeld. I say that in a positive way. But he'll help you save your money to leave to your kids and your charity of your choice, not the government or the medical company. He also has a great radio show it's called Fun with Finance, right?
No, it's Serenity to Wealth Now,
Come
Vic,
on.
but it's full of fun with finance.
Within
the show.
All right. He's got a new book called The New Holistic Retirement. You can get it at SerenityNowTax.com. That's SerenityNowTax.com. Serenity Now! Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity now!
On the next
Larry Connors, USA.
Coming up today, the latest on the Charlie Kirk assassination and the impact on our nation.
Larry Connors, USA. Now, weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
Hi, it's Ken Williams, and my favorite Capriati sandwich is the Cap Pastrami. You've got hot pastrami, melty Swiss cheese, crunchy coleslaw, and zesty Russian dressing. What else do you need? I love Capriati's, and you will too.
on Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Link, owner of the Dental Link. You've heard ads about teeth in a day, but did you know that you will be chewing on plastic, acrylic teeth? Here at the Dental Link, we can give you porcelain crown and bridge teeth utilizing mini dental implants that function much more like real teeth at about half the cost. Plus, mini dental implants are less invasive, less painful, and your recovery time is much shorter. Give us a call at 314-794-6464 or simply visit us today at thedentallink.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com.
2 days ago.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian. The big lie is a lot of bullshit. That's what it is.
Now look here, I don't like that kind of talk. Now just stop it. It upsets me.
On News Talk STL.
2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
She's so strong and she's so powerful and she doesn't even know it yet.
Yeah.
That's the humility that she brings us. She has no idea how strong and powerful she is. Okay, September 20th, Ken, that's coming up, isn't it? It's coming up very soon. Today's 5 days from this weekend. The Fall Festival in Warrenton, Missouri, featuring Joe D. Messina. We talked to her before you left.
Right.
Yeah. She sounds like a lot of fun. Of course, great artist, a lot of Grammys, and she's doing a show on the 20th in Warrenton, and it's going to be fun for the whole family, and we'll give you more on it as we get closer to it. Right now, let's welcome Terris Todd back to the show from Project 21 and the National Center for Public Policy Research. Terris, how are you, man?
Doing good, man. Bless you guys. Good to be with you again.
Always great to have you. You know, Terris, I said to Ken early on in the show, an unbelievable amount of Black Americans came out on video saying, "How dare you shoot Charlie Kirk for his free speech?" And I thought it really showed, at least between people on the right and Black America, how we're solid. We're in solidarity.
No, absolutely. And I know the left would rather have you think otherwise, and that's exactly why they've controlled the media for so long. And so social media is kind of two-edged sword, right? I mean, you have to kind of sit back and wait and see what you're going to get. But at least somewhere in the middle or somewhere along, your search, you will find the truth. And so that's why social media is kind of a dangerous thing for, more established media, those larger networks that are controlled mostly by the left. But you're right. I mean, I think we stand in solidarity. And there were those who did not agree with Charlie Kirk wholeheartedly, but at the end of the day, they still respected him because he at least had given others a platform to come and just, debate him or to share their thoughts and views and whatnot, and possibly maybe even convince him or influence him to think otherwise or to rethink his thoughts. And so I think they could respect that, man. And so to end someone's life on that regard is despicable, or any regard, to tell you the truth, is really despicable, because you could not, you couldn't challenge him, because you didn't have the intellectual fortitude to do so. So anyway, but no, I think we stand firm, we stand solid. Free speech is one that's been, attacked for quite some long, and Black Americans should know that firsthand, because our ancestors had to deal with that. And so, and I think COVID also was another highlight of what the left could do, to try to silence you. I mean, they tried to not allow us to go to church, but you can go to the strip club. So that's crazy. So anyway, but yeah, we do stand in solidarity on that.
2,000 years from now, when they look back on this civilization, do you think they're going to say social media was the reason for the fall of the civilization?
Very good question. I think social media, maybe not by itself, but I think those who get a hold of social media and what people actually buy into on social media, I think, is the issue. But again, I think that's why the Bible says that blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And I think our moral compass pointing us back to God is essential. And that's why we should always protect our religious freedom, because that gives us the moral compass to always seek the truth and to stand on the truth, because truth is what makes us free. And so, so if the wrong person who gets a hold of social media and they actually adopt some of the, I guess, immoral content that's on there, anybody that's weak-minded and so on, of course, they could ascribe to that, as if this assassin, they said he became radicalized over the past few years, and this is what happens. But he had to be grounded in truth, because, if he's grounded in Christ, man, I mean, he could not have possibly have made such a decision.
Terris, you have a lot of people on the left, and actually there are quite a few Democrats who are Christian. They've got to be thinking to themselves, okay, we've moved so far away from Christianity. They have no belief in it. And here's some proof for you. There are 47% of people that were polled on the left say that it's okay and acceptable to commit murder to get a point across. 55% thought that killing President Trump was a very good move.
Yeah, well, again, there are those who have a form of godliness but deny the power thereof. And so obviously, those are individuals who have twisted the scriptures to their own liking, to their own flesh. And so Jesus called people out like that as well. He said, "And you are of your father, the devil, and the lust of him you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. When he speaks of lies, because he is the father of those lies." And so, so Jesus made it clear, and that's what he did. He rightly divided those who were for God and for the kingdom of God, and those who were not, just putting on a mask just to appease to people. So yeah, I really appreciate and love the fact that Charlie was not afraid. He stood on business. He stood on his faith, and he was confident in that. But he also went out into the world, like he said, we're called to make disciples, right? So I'm going to them, which who else is doing what he's doing?
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't care what political spectrum, what ethnicity. No one's doing what he's done. And he did it at the age of 18 from his parents' garage. And he's grown and built a huge thing by the grace of God, obviously. But he's grown a great movement and a great company. And he go down in history as one of the greatest, man. And he was only 31 years old, and that's what's really sad. He was a millennial, so he was the future of our nation.
And I guess real quick, the point I was trying to make is that if you're a Democrat and you're a Christian, you need to move away from the Democrat Party. The Democrats are becoming terrorists. They're becoming a terrorist organization. Yeah. They're accepting every bit of this.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, you say that because I saw where there are some that are moving away. Black, white, doesn't matter. People of all ethnic groups, they realize that, wait a minute, something's wrong. I actually did it over a decade ago. As a matter of fact, when Obama was being on his tour, he and Joe Biden were on their tour doing rallies and whatnot. I myself personally was told at that rally, because I was asked to do the opening prayer, that I could not name the name of Christ in my prayer. I said, well, you got the wrong guy, And so I backed out about 5-10 minutes before I was supposed to go out on stage and give the opening prayer. I backed out. And so they asked if I could find someone else in the crowd. And I saw another pastor, and he said, oh yeah, I think I understand what kind of prayer they want. Well, I'm the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy. So that was one of the very first strikes for me when I started really paying attention to what was going on the left. And so I thank God for wisdom and knowledge to actually pull myself away, over a decade ago, because I saw that they were heading in the wrong direction.
To Ken's point, Democrats becoming Christian. I think that if you are a Democrat and you become a Christian, you've already moved away from the intolerant left.
True. No, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing to also remember, you guys, is that this has been their blueprint for years. Let's not forget, I told some people this. I said, the same spirit that has governed the left during the time of slavery to the time of the Civil War to their founding of the Klan, which was their terrorist arm. They thought that, abolitionists, black or white, should be hung or killed because they went against the left's ideology, all the way up to the Civil Rights era and so on, is the same spirit governing them today. That's been their blueprint. So blacks weren't the only ones being lynched. Whites were also being lynched, and they were called Republican, or abolitionists, i.e. Republican, whatever. They were more on the right side. So this has been their blueprint for years. And so, and somebody else said it too, I think, on one of the media outlets. They said, you notice how bullets are only flying in one direction? There are no cities burning up right now. There's no bodies, property, and businesses being looted by the right as a result of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Biden hadn't been shot at. None of these other people are being shot at, and, their homes being trashed or whatever. And so, again, why? Because we have a moral compass. Not saying that the right is just squeaky clean. No, I'm saying that we do, at least the vast majority of us do have a moral compass, and that compass is God himself.
One of the big phrases, I'm sorry, Terris.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Take a breath and I'll jump right on you there, buddy.
I know, yeah.
But one of the big phrases over the weekend, Ken and Terris, and Ken, I know that you know this, and I know you've said this, we are not the same. When George Floyd was killed, riots, fires. When Charlie Kirk was killed, candles and vigils and prayer.
Yeah.
We're not the same.
We're not.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. This is truly a divided nation from ideology standpoint. But again, one thing that I could only hope is that those who have been leaning left, those who are people of God, people of faith, and what my prayer is that they will awaken and realize that, wait a minute. And I'm not even saying they should go to the right. I'm just saying move away and kind of reassess where you need to go from there.
And think for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. This is not me trying to recruit or anything like that. I mean, you do your own assessment and whatnot on where you need to go. I mean, if anything, be independent, be an independent thinker, free thinker for yourself, but being tied to that, I don't know, man, that's a dangerous thing, because let's keep in mind, life is cyclic. This thing comes back around. Whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap. And if I'm tied to something like that, it's a matter of time that devil could come knock on my door, which I pray that the angels will guard me from. But hey, it is what it is. But people need to understand that. And so my prayer is that we can move forward as a nation and we can come together and be united on that. And I'm really glad to hear that there are those who are Christian on the left who have actually moved themselves and separated themselves from this nonsense.
Well, if the devil ever knocks on your door, just make sure you've eaten a lot of garlic. And then when he knocks, say, who is it?
Yeah. I'm going to plead the blood
Mel Brooks.
of the Lord.
Mel Brooks. All right. Terris, couldn't wait to talk to you today because I'm really just, one Black American after the next on TikTok, on X, saying this is not right. We can't do this. And I don't want to get us out of time, which I've already done. Terris, Project 21, National Center for Public Policy Research. So enjoy our conversations, man. Thank you so much.
Man. God bless you, man. Take care. Have a good one.
God bless you, Terris.
Back at
you too. Bye-bye.
Back at you. So anyway, Ken, we are Charlie. I think I should be hearing some music or something, right? Shouldn't we be hearing some music by the number that you wrote on the board over there? There we go. Hey, Karen Kataline. She's next. I'm 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Number one for live and local conservative talk. We are Charlie. Do you remember the... we don't have time now. Talk about it next hour.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor, Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peter's did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Looking for an underwater adventure or a scaly new friend? Dive into Tropical World Pets on Watson Road. For 32 years, this family-owned wonderland has been St. Louis's go-to destination for all things aquatic and reptilian. With over 7,000 square feet of aquariums, we're home to the area's largest selection of freshwater fish, including rare cichlids you won't find anywhere else. But that's not all. We've got tarantulas, snakes, and lizards galore. Tropical World Pets, 314-849-4020, or visit twpstl.com.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airways for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Money Radio every weekend on News Talk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. What else do our listeners need to know, Doug?
Simply put, I focus on helping pre-retirees and retirees build, preserve, and protect retirement assets, and I've been helping my clients solve their insurance and financial needs for the past 33 years. I also strive to educate my clients on how to prepare for retirement, minimize the impact of market volatility on their assets, and deal with the challenges of increased longevity. Call me today at 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green.
This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewsTalkSTL.com.
Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the assassination of Salem Radio Network talk host Charlie Kirk may lead to a more civil tone on Capitol Hill. On the Fox News channel, the Louisiana Republican says that does not mean that conservatives in Congress surrender their hard-fought principles.
We can have vigorous disputes. Charlie Kirk was an expert at that. He loved debate. But Charlie also advanced another really important idea, and that is that he loved the people on the other side of that table. He was never motivated by hate. He was motivated by truth and love. And that's what we have to do. That's who we are as Americans. That is follows the best of our Judeo-Christian traditions and heritage and our civil society, and we have got to get back to that.
Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance will guest host the Charlie Kirk Show live from the White House today, saying he wants to pay tribute to his murdered friend. The Vice President's special broadcast will begin at 12 noon Eastern Time today on the Salem Radio Network and on the Salem News Channel. President Trump hinting that the U.S. and Chinese officials have reached a deal on TikTok.
Without naming the social media company, the president said a deal was reached regarding a certain company that young people in our country very much wanted to save. He wrote online that he'll be speaking with Chinese President Xi on Friday. Citing national security concerns, Congress approved a U.S. ban on TikTok, thus held its controlling stake. But President Trump has extended the deadline 3 times. Greg Clugston, Washington.
First it was Poland. Now at least one Russian drone has penetrated Romanian airspace. President Trump urging the NATO allies to stand together and to stand up to Vladimir Putin by not buying Russian oil. Watching Wall Street this hour, stocks modestly higher. The Dow is up about 99 points. Townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Not as hot as it was over the weekend, but still toasty for the next few days. Today, it's a mix of clouds and sun, 93 this afternoon. Dry for the immediate St. Louis area, but a stray shower or storm possible to the west. Holding in the 80s all the way through the evening and then dropping to about 70 for the low early tomorrow morning. Mostly sunny and dry Tuesday and Wednesday, highs around 92 to 93. Keeping it hot with highs in the 90s through Thursday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, hour number 2 of our 3-hour tour. Ken has put up on the video stream. We are, how do you say that? We are now, or we are Charlie now?
We are now. Charlie now.
We are Charlie now. And all right, let's get Karen because she'll remember this too. Let's go. Let's get her going. Let's go.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Spoiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
Good morning, my Jewish friend. How are you?
Well, good morning, my Italian Catholic friend.
Hi, how you doing? All right. And Kenny's back.
How you doing?
How you doing, Kenny?
Hi, Karen.
Karen,
Hi.
something hit me this morning. You know, everybody's writing "I am Charlie," "We are Charlie," right, all over the internet, and you've seen that. Okay, so it reminded me of the French newspaper, right? It was a newspaper called Charlie Hebdo.
Yes.
And they did a political cartoon making fun of Muhammad, and the Islam people were going to kill everybody there and everything. And the big cry on the internet was just "We Charlie."
Right.
We are Charlie.
Yes.
We are Charlie. Just like
Yes.
now. Crazy.
It harkens back to another story that I hear every once in a while, and I do believe it was from Denmark. I'm not sure. During the Holocaust, when they were going around looking for Jews to pick up and put on trains, this country, and I apologize for not knowing anymore, they all put Jewish stars on their windows.
Yeah.
And because of that, they couldn't take the whole town. That's what coming together means when people do it voluntarily and not by force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some Jewish stuff. Want to talk about some Jewish stuff?
If you want.
You know, I know this
If you
Jewish is
wanna.
really great. Her name's Karen Kataline. So
Yeah.
the New York candidate for mayor,
Mamdani.
Mamdani.
Tommy Mamdani.
I refuse to say his name. Ken helps me out with that. Anyway,
Mm.
he says he's going to arrest Bibi Netanyahu if he shows up in New York.
Yeah, that's been around for a while.
And
yeah, but he's not a fascist.
No,
or a
no.
tyrant.
That's great.
No, indeed, he's
Kidding
not
me?
any of those things.
That's
right?
great. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I have a rabbi friend.
You
Which
do?
it would
I'm
be
shocked to
neat-
hear that.
Well, I know. He started as a guest on one of the shows that I do, and we've become friends. And you might want to have him on because he has this book out, and he is doing this rally, although it's online. Every little bit helps, right? It's a rally online, and I was trying to help him with sort of the mission of this thing, and it occurred to me that everybody who wants to take him at his word is really getting trapped. This commie guy, because communists always lie about who they are until they get into office. And so all you need to say is he's a communist and communists lie. So don't believe what he's saying now, because he doesn't believe very much of it at all. Case in point, would he advocate for the kind of policies towards LGBT XYZ ABC in the Muslim countries that he really cares about? No, he would not. He's not advocating for the rights in those countries, because in those countries, they hang gay and trans people from cranes and throw them off buildings.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want to say.
That was a good one. That was really a good one.
No, I was just going to say the comparisons between communism and Islam. There are some things that are just distinctly unique about them as being combined. I mean, some of the things that he says that they say in Islam, like, for example, one of their things that they're supposed to do to I guess to deceive the infidel is to lie.
Absolutely. In order to gain power.
Yes.
And he is the most open Muslim Marxist we've seen. I don't know, since about 2009. But it's the same idea, the same ideology. And if you look back, you'll see that the earlier one, who was a little better hidden, did all the same things.
Yeah.
He didn't advocate for the things he ended up doing, not even close.
No.
And he still is trying to cover up for his part in it. He will be pro all the divisiveness and hate, privately, and support those who do. But what does he do? He comes forward almost immediately with a gracious statement about the atrocity assassination of Charlie Kirk to run cover. So gullible fools will say, well, he was against that. He spoke out against it, as if speaking out against it means that you've changed your mind about anything.
Right.
Yeah. Well, here's something that you probably never heard me say before. Let's talk about the Emmys. What do you say? Talk about the Emmys?
Gee, I didn't telegraph that at all, did I?
Not at all. Hannah Einbinder
Oh,
is her name.
God,
She won an Emmy for something I don't care about, but you explain the rest of it, Karen.
So I hate to do this, but I'll just read my tweet because it took me an hour to write it with the proper number of characters. I could write longer, but I know people don't push the more button. So I had to put it in that many characters, which is a wonderful challenge for me. I checked in with the obnoxious Emmys for less than 2 minutes. I swear to God, less than 2 minutes. just as this stooge, and that's the best word for her, made slogans for violence toward law enforcement and toward her own people just as banal as a sports cheer. She said three things. And the first thing was a sports cheer, a banal sports cheer. The other things is basically the mottos for calling for violence. And then the other stooges cheered too.
Yep.
That's how it happens.
So
And you know what I mean by it.
I do.
That's how this happens. People incite hatred and banality of this sort, and people jump on the bandwagon. I'm not going to sit and analyze why certain Jews do that, but people from all stripes. You can't assume that because she's Jewish, she is, number one, an idiot, number two, gullible, or that, she is obligated in any way to care about Israel and the Jewish people. And what she did last night was indicative of self-hatred, the likes of which I can't imagine.
So, Ken, her name is Hannah Einbinder, Jewish actress. She wins the Emmy, and she says, "Go Birds." I guess that means the Eagles. I don't know. During
I don't know who it is.
I think it means the Eagles.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for
F
explaining.
Ice.
Oh, good.
Which they had to edit that out completely.
Uh-huh.
And then she says, "Free Palestine."
Okay.
As a Jew.
As a Jew.
As a Jew.
That's interesting.
She says, "Free Palestine," and then she walks off.
F Ice. And notice also that if I'd had more characters, I'd say the other stooges and insiders are people who made the fact that she was bleeped the biggest story this morning, so people will go and check what she said. It wasn't the call to violence, which it most certainly is and has become. It's that somebody bleeped her, and so that's clickbait, so you can go and try to find out what it was she said.
Right.
So they're concerned about what? Free speech, like Charlie Kirk got shot for? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's only free speech for them.
Oh,
not
I'm
for
so
anybody
sorry.
else.
I got that wrong.
And
also, well, real quick there with that little remark there,
Yes.
Charlie Kirk was shot because they claimed he was a fascist, but that act of shooting his free speech and killing him is the ultimate act of an ultimate fascist. Just so everybody's clear on this.
Without a doubt. And my new favorite words these days are perversion and subversion. They pervert the truth and they subvert our Constitution, and then they cheer it and call it good. And the media is obviously colludes with this twisting of the truth. There's so many things this has, to use the widow Mrs. Kirk's phrase, unleashed.
Yeah.
Did you see that Stephen A. ridiculous? I thought he had sense.
I thought he
doesn't
did
have
too.
an
What'd he
ounce
say?
of sense.
I missed
He doesn't
this.
have one bit of it. He came out and said after that heart-wrenching speech that she gave 2 days after the love of her life was murdered, he said, "I don't think he," meaning Charlie Kirk, "would be proud of the speech she gave." And all I could figure, and I'm pretty sure it's what he meant, is that he's making the assumption that unleashing this movement is unleashing the thing for which he was supposedly killed, meaning he's bought into the idea that Charlie was some kind of a totalitarian, fascist, bigot, Nazi hater. Without watching any of his videos, without knowing what he stood for. There are also Jews who will think that he was anti-Semitic because he was 100% Christian and 100% conservative. That a Jew hater don't make. He was avidly pro-Israel and avidly supportive of the Jewish people. Yeah.
No. Are you done? You took another breath?
Not really, but I don't want to.
Come on, it's only quarter after. Go.
This, okay. Well, this has spurred in me a sense of clarity about something that I intend and hope to work on. I am moving in more Jewish circles than I ever have before. I was always kind of alone because, I'm not Orthodox, I'm not Reform, hard to find a shul, a synagogue to go to. And I found one, and I also found a community of people, a religious community, which makes me not Orthodox in any way, really, but I love Orthodox too. They're Jews. But this horrible atrocity offers an unwanted but important opportunity for Christians and Jews to stand together. And I've thought about this and worked on this a great deal of my talk radio career, because I'm a Jew whose primary audience has always been primarily Christian. And how can I hold on to, which I have no problem doing, my Jewish identity and what I believe in, and talk to Christian conservatives too? Well, there's a lot of Jews who can't do that, who don't want to do that. And some of their animosity, not all, but some of their animosity is towards Christians for well-founded suspicion and dislike that our parents and grandparents had. And so to find that, I guess, sweet spot for Jews and Christians to stand together, which in my opinion is absolutely essential, requires some understanding on the part of Christians, and they may not go along. This is not something I can go into great detail now, but I'm thinking about it and talking to people. And something that I want to talk to Jews about, because the intent of Christians, which is in their doctrine to try and convert Jews, presents a real dilemma for a lot of Jews. They forget that persuasion, like what Charlie did, is a heck of a lot different than converting at the point of a sword or a gun, like in the Spanish Inquisition, which I'm also learning a lot about, that I never really knew, meeting former, going on and on, I know, meeting descendants of the Spanish Inquisition who found out they were Jews and found their Judaism and clawed their way back to a community that their ancestors were forcibly converted to. So when Jews hear Christians trying to convert others, it stirs their ire to a degree I can't even describe to you. And so that's part of the job. They're never going to change their doctrine. I wish they wouldn't do it, but you know what? Christianity went through a reformation, and I have a motto. It's not up to Christians to keep Jews Jewish. And the less religious a Jew is, the more he's bothered by Christmas lights and Christmas trees. People, Jews who know who they are as Jews, they admire the lights and they don't feel threatened. Now, you know, people want to kill you. That's a whole different story.
Right.
But you can't say Christians, well, the average Christian is out there trying to kill Jews because they're Jewish. There is another party and another religion that is doing that.
All right. So a couple of things we want to play here for you, Ken. I also want to play her Kayleigh McEnany, okay?
Okay.
But Ken found this clip from Obama when he let it out. And then who's interviewing him?
George Stephanopoulos.
It was George Step on all of us. I remember it.
Step on all of us. Oh my God, I love that.
And even when that happened, back when it did happen, I thought immediately, okay, you're deceiving people. And listen,
who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking about Barack Obama
and George Stephanopoulos.
Both of them
deceiving us.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith. And you're absolutely right that has not come my Christian faith.
Okay. As a Christian, okay, I don't care what interview you've given me, how quickly I have to respond. I don't care what it is. I will never, ever call myself my Muslim faith. I will never do that because I'm a Christian.
You and me both.
All right, we got a lot to squeeze in here, so everybody shut up. Okay.
All right.
So, do you have Kayleigh? So, just to kind of, cross the streams here a little bit on how Christians are taking this, Kayleigh McEnany said this, and nobody cried. Nobody's allowed to cry. You understand me, Ken Williams?
Yep.
Do you hear me?
Yep.
This is Kayleigh McEnany on the day that Charlie was shot.
You know, we talk about left and right, and Charlie would point right. But more than that, Charlie pointed up. He had this authentic, real love for Jesus Christ, and his conservative philosophy was an outgrowth of that. But he would go to these campuses. I would speak at his women's event, and he would speak to lonely people who were lost on social media, felt empty, felt depressed on college campuses, and he would give them hope in Jesus Christ. And the last thing I would say, Sean, is I know that I know that I know that I know this. Charlie Kirk did not die today. Yes, he left his body. But I guarantee you, when he took his last breath, the first words that he heard were Jesus Christ saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant."
My good and faithful servant. Boy, I'll tell you what. I played that for Ken. We talked to Ken on the phone. He was from Utah, and Ken cried like a little girl because I cried like a little girl first time I heard it. I got news for you. So that's a little across the street.
Really get you.
Right? The Christians and the Jews.
Amazing and astonishing. We must stand together, accept our religious differences, and stand together on what we know and
Exactly
believe.
right. Now, final thing, and I know we're late. I don't care. You okay with it? So on the bullets, on the casings of the bullets that this guy had, one thing he said was, "Hey, fascists, catch this," or something like that. But he had Bella Ciao written on the thing. And I was like, how dare you, you little punk, to use Bella Ciao. Play a little bit of it, Ken. Let's Karen. How dare you use a song that the soldiers sang who were fighting Mussolini? Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao. So, do you remember that? Either of you remember the? You could keep it up. That's okay. The U2 album Rattle and Hum.
Yeah.
When they did Helter Skelter.
Yes.
And before the song, Bono says, "Charlie Manson stole this from the Beatles and we're stealing it back." Well, this kid tries to steal this from partisans against real true fascism.
Right.
And Ken, we're stealing it back. You okay with that, Karen?
Totally okay with it. I'd like to know where he got it because he didn't come up with it on his own.
No way.
Well, I'll tell you where he got it. Was there was a
Antifa?
show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hold on. Everybody's jumping around me here. Stop it. There was a show called Money Heist on Netflix, and they sang this song almost throughout the entire series. And then it became a big thing on TikTok. People were singing it on TikTok. This girl sang a beautiful rendition of it in the street in Italy. You know, people on balconies in Italy sing it. They get together just to sing it because it was to fight Mussolini. Damn it.
It's so irritating. It's this subversion and perversion again. They take good things, turn them bad, and then they cheer it. Yeah.
All right. Listen, great to have everybody back. This is like a big reunion party.
I know.
You, me, and
I love
Ken. Yeah. I think that was all. Oh, I don't have time to talk about Nate Bargatze last night at the Emmys. So I'll have to talk to that without you, Karen.
Wonderful to talk to you, as always, both of you.
We will talk on Thursday. Thank you so much.
All right.
Love you. Love you. Mwah, mwah,
Love you,
mwah.
love you.
Bye, Karen.
So, all right. So I kind of fixed my own problem there because I was going to do Bella Ciao at 10:25.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about Nate Bargatze, who I love. You know, I love Nate Bargatze.
Right.
He hosted the Emmys last night. I think looking back on it, I think he wished he didn't. You know?
Yeah.
Because they're a bunch of lib turds and he hates them. So that's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative. Sorry, talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
So I kind of got a great story for you.
Yeah.
You know Stan, right?
Oh, yeah.
Stan was in here from Roots Plus. And first of all, he is so fast and witty and funny because he was talking about people who listen to the show and then call him to do stuff with their trees.
Right.
And Stan said, boy, you know, your listeners, they really like you because you're, and I shot it and said, handsome. And he shot back and modest.
And modest.
So he was driving around to a client who heard about him through us. And on his way, he sees some guy on a ladder against his tree, you know, cutting off branches and stuff. So Stan stopped, you know, got out of his car and he's like, hey, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I hold the ladder for you or something like that? Right, that I can do for you? Here's my card. And, he was just, I don't know. I think Stan is awesome with what he does and just the kind of guy that call him and tell him to come in. I need a stand fix.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Roots Plus. We'll try to save your tree. Ken, help me one more time with the word. It's
a
proprietary system to save your tree. He will try his best to save the tree. And then while you're waiting in the waiting room, he'll come out in the scrubs and he'll say, we've done everything we can do. And then if he has to get rid of your tree, the money that you put up for fixing the tree goes towards removing it. They're just a great company, great people, and they're locally owned and operated, and they're conservative as heck.
Absolutely. And if you got a tree that you love, and I know a lot of us do, man, I have one in my backyard that if it was gone, I don't know if we'd even want to keep the house. It's so majestic.
I so get that.
Yeah.
Because
And
now it's just barren there.
Yeah,
Except the
exactly.
stump. So call Stan, RootsPlusLLC.com. I should have said call Stan, 314-440-3662 or RootsPlusLLC.com.
Hey, thank you very much for taking my call.
News, analysis, opinion.
Yes, I just want you to know what a breath of fresh air you people are.
101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Hey, Jamie Allman here for the great Window World. Just over the last 20 years of Window World being in St. Louis, they've improved the look and thermal efficiency of more than 76,000 customers in St. Louis. Plus, Window World windows come with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. And now Window World is now offering 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Call them today at 314-993-1800, 314-993-1800.
Tony Colombo here for All Solutions Pest Control, the team Christine and I trust to protect our home. We've used multiple services at multiple homes over the years, and I can tell you from all that experience, All Solutions is second to none. If you have a pest problem of any kind, or more importantly, just want to prevent a problem, All Solutions is the team to call. Learn more and take advantage of their incredible $67 introductory offer right now at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
News Talk STL. Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Did Donald Trump and Republicans make everything great again over the weekend? We'll discuss with Senator Jim Talent at 425. At 525, Red State Headlines with Susie Moore.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. Vic and Ken. Ken's a cat. He plays saxophone. Vic owns a cat, and he has cat-like reflexes. The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, did you see everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, and you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day.
So that's Nate Bargatze, of course, from his Tennessee Kid special, which is on Netflix. You can watch that on Netflix. So last night was the Emmys, Ken. I know you love the Emmys, don't you? You love all those
don't even
awards,
pay attention.
Grammys, right?
Don't even pay
Oscars,
attention.
don't you love those? See, here's my problem. Because this is not something I think that's been going on for 50 years, this protesting and political crap when people win.
No, I was just going to say, Vic, no, you're exactly right. Because I used to be flown every 2 weeks out to the best hotel, the 4 stars in LA, and interview actors and directors. Every 2 weeks, I did it for about 2 years. And I was all about it. I mean, when we had the Academy Awards here, we'd have parties at what was it, Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, we set it up. It was huge. I was a really big fan of that. the Golden Globes, the Emmys, all of it.
Yeah.
But when this stuff started happening and I started noticing, wow, I mean, I don't say my political views, but my God, these people are going crazy.
Yeah.
I had to get out of it. I had to.
So to quote Ricky Gervais, so if you win tonight, come up, accept your little award, thank you God and your manager, and F off. So Nate Bargatze hosted the thing last night. And when I first heard he was going to do, because Nate Bargatze is everything now. He is everywhere, everything. You know the George Washington sketch, the Saturday Night Live George Washington sketch? Oh, tell me you've watched that.
No, I haven't.
You have to watch some things, even though it's Saturday Night Live, because it's got Nate Bargatze in it.
Okay.
He's George Washington. And he's talking about this new country we're going to build. And we're going to weigh things in pounds, and 2,000 pounds will be called a ton. What will 1,000 pounds be called, sir? Nothing. And he explains, because it's brilliant. And it was written by Mikey Day, by the way, a guy I'm sure we both hate because he's a lib, but he wrote that. And then on Nate Bargatze's Christmas special, they did the exact same thing, except Nate was the angel talking to Joseph and Mary, and the baby Jesus is there. And it's good, fun stuff. So they did another take on that, and they made up a fictional name of the guy who invented television. And it was, I don't know, and you could tell Mikey Day wrote it. It was exactly, anyway. So Nate,
this is all on YouTube
right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd look for the George Washington thing before the Emmys thing, though, for sure.
Oh, okay.
So Nate, this is not his wheelhouse doing this. You can tell that it wasn't his wheelhouse. He wasn't really comfortable being there. And he had a really great idea, because he started by saying, okay, now I'm gonna donate $100,000 to Boys Club and Girls Club of America, And everybody, do you know JB Smoove? You know who JB Smoove is? Black comedian. He was in on it with Nate. JB was actually in the crowd with two kids who have taken advantage of the Boys Club. I used to go to the Boys Club in Bloomfield, New Jersey, by the way. It was it was downstairs from the public library, and we used to go and play knock hockey and, bumper pool and stuff. Anyway, so Nate says, I'm going to donate $100,000 to Boys Club and Girls Club of America. But there's a caveat. You have 45 seconds when you get your award to thank whoever you want to thank. Every second over 45 that you go, that's $1,000 that comes off what we're going to donate.
Oh.
He said, but if you go under, we'll add to it. He goes, don't go crazy. Don't come up and just say thank you and leave. That's a lot of money, because it's his money. So I was impressed with some of the people who really did get it done. They said, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I know time's ticking. We want to give the Boys Club money. So thank you. And they walked off. And that just raised a bunch of money. But there's some of them that just don't care. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank my director, and named every person in the cast. Meanwhile, when they go past 45, the dollar amount comes on the screen, and it starts running backwards, because now they're losing money because this guy went over 45 seconds.
And they don't care.
And they don't care. And I think Nate knew that. And at the end of the show, because it was so disastrous, that CBS, got to give him credit for this, CBS said they'll donate $250,000 to Boys Club and Girls Club, and Nate said he'll do the $100,000 anyway. So Boys Club and Girls Club got $350,000.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's real good.
But they just can't help themselves, because they're just stuck in their own little. Boy, talk about privilege. We shouldn't say white privilege. We should say Hollywood privilege.
Yeah, elite, left-wing elite privilege. I mean, you've got all that.
Yeah. And elitist egocentrism, right, Ken?
Yes.
Like that?
Yes.
So Nate, I thought, did an okay job. He wasn't great. I hate to say that, because I love him so much, and I love his stand-up so much, but this wasn't his stand-up. He knew. First of all, he is not a crazy liberal by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
So him being in front of a whole audience full of libs, I'm sure, made him a little squirmish, a little squeamish.
Yeah, but like you said, though, I mean, he wouldn't. His show, his comedic delivery, isn't about politics generally anyway. So that probably made him uncomfortable out of the gate. And then this whole format, it's not his thing. So, he had to adjust a little bit.
And part of his shtick is that he's stupid,
Right.
Because I don't know. I don't even know how rain works. You know what I mean? And he's the one that says, I don't read because there's so many words. Every page just has the most words.
And I like it when he refers to his wife as being the one in control. That,
Exactly.
Points him in directions. And
So good for Nate for, having the courage to do it and for raising all that money for Boys Club and Girls Club of America. Okay, Ken, before we go to break, I have a question that I thought of when you were gone. See, these thoughts came in my head while you were gone, and then I got to remember them for when you get back.
Right.
And my head is not too good at remembering stuff, but I had a question that nobody's been able to answer for me. So where America is now, right?
Yeah.
United States of America, and I'm just going to use the word Indian just as a reference point, okay? So the Indians were there, right?
Where? In the United States?
Here, yeah.
Yeah. Native Americans.
Don't get ahead of me.
Okay. I won't.
You already did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So Indians. So what do we call them? We call them Native Americans. Now, if there were Indians in America, they didn't know borders or anything. There had to be Indians in Canada. Up there, do they call them Native Canadians? I bet they don't.
They might. I don't know. I
bet they call them Indians.
Well, they might. They probably do. A lot of people do.
Isn't that interesting?
No, it's very interesting. It's a point that I don't think anybody's ever brought up before. And that's a Vic Porcelli point.
Thank you very much.
And the Indian, we had this conversation because we were in the Navajo Nation when I was visiting one of the canyons. It's called Lower Antelope Canyon, and it was amazing, Vic. And I'm going to have to post pictures of this.
Yeah, do it.
Well, I told everybody I was going to post pictures, but I wanted to wait until I got back and everything was get everything out in front here and say, hey, I'm going to post these pictures now because the Lower Antelope Canyon is so amazing and it's a part of the Navajo Nation. But one of the things that they tried to stress to us was we're Native Americans and we're not from India. And the original version of being an Indian, they all thought that the people here were from India.
Right.
And they just say Native Americans, it makes us feel better. It's a good thing for us because we are Native Americans.
So what about the Native Canadians?
Well,
why don't they get any credit?
I think you might need to have somebody address that, Vic, because that's a great point. Native Canadians.
You're guys Indian?
Now,
you're Indian.
Now we call this the Americas, being South, North America. Maybe being Native Americans is a part of being Native Americans from the Americas. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they thought about that back then.
I don't think they did either. I'll be honest with you.
They were like, hey, who are these guys on these boats? What in the heck's going on here? All right, let's go to break. And I want to celebrate's not the right word. I want to just acknowledge a certain Democrat in Senate who's saying some very logical things.
Okay.
It's just not what we're used to hearing Democrats say.
All right.
Right?
Right.
That's next on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
In my life, I had a guardian angel by my side. I called her Mamaw. She loved the Lord, ladies and gentlemen. She was a woman of very deep Christian faith. But she also loved the F word.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. News, analysis, opinion.
I've got something to say and I can't hold it any longer.
1019 and 94.1.
You won't hear the truth anywhere but here. News Talk STL.
News Talk STL.
Public schools, like public libraries, should be free and open to all. Open enrollment allows parents to choose the school that's the best fit for their children. Maybe another school has a wider curriculum, is bigger or smaller. Maybe a kid is being bullied and would be more comfortable at another school. 75% of parents favor open enrollment. Open enrollment programs now exist in 43 states, and Missouri should join them. Our next door neighbor, Kansas, has one of the strongest open enrollment policies in the nation. Kansas parents are trusted with choices and options, while Missouri parents must move out of their home to change public schools. And it's a trend. Nationwide, the percentage of students going to their chosen public school has steadily increased. Assigning kids to schools based on their zip code is the old way. Open enrollment is a better way. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Join us for the annual St. Louis County Lincoln Reagan Day Dinner on Saturday, September 27th at the River City Casino Hotel Ballroom. Hear from top Missouri state and federal officials, plus special guest federal IRS agent Joseph Ziegler, who played a key role in the Hunter Biden investigation. Enjoy dinner, networking, and a silent auction. For tickets, call Renee Artman at 314-398-6667 or email reneeartman1530@gmail.com.
Beat the summer heat with Johnson Heating and Cooling, your trusted local family business. We specialize in residential air conditioning service, furnace and AC replacement, new construction, finished basements, room additions, and energy-efficient geothermal systems. At Johnson Heating and Cooling, our motto is simple. We treat our customers like we want to be treated, with complete transparency and honesty. Call 636-332-4141. That's 636-332-4141.
Fox News commentary.
In the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination, the dark hole of social media is even darker than usual. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
You think your 401k is safe, growing, reliable. But here's the truth. The 401k was never designed to make you wealthy. It was built to shift risk onto you, leaving your retirement exposed to Wall Street crashes, inflation, and chaos. Noble Gold helps Americans roll over part of their 401k into real physical gold. Tax advantage, penalty-free, and shockproof. Get your free wealth protection kit now at noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Every anonymous and fringe troll, every media figure, every elected official who spoke out about Charlie's murder and added a but, maybe it's time to log off and take a hard look at your own humanity. Charlie didn't agree with you. He didn't like your rhetoric either, but he didn't want you dead. He just wanted to debate you. This twisted idea that saying something unpopular means you deserve to die is morally bankrupt and evil. And when you die, I hope no one's heartless enough to say, well, condolences, but she said things I didn't like, or sorry it happened, but he was offensive. How do we get to a place where people actually believe disagreement justifies death? It's sickening. But I still believe those voices, as loud and algorithm-fed as they are, do not represent the majority. I choose to believe that people, even on the left, were heartbroken by what happened to Charlie, and I believe most of us still know right from wrong. I'm Tommy Lahren.
Get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park. Meantime,
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Vic and Ken. Vic can make oleo. Ken can't pronounce oleo. The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure.
I'm glad to hear that.
She is just fabulous. I swear to God. You know, Ken, I don't know what's in all these cuts that you have. We have like a ton of Erica Kirk clips, and we want to play as many as we can. But there's one when she says, Charlie loved America. He loved his faith, and he loved me.
Yeah.
To know you are loved is nothing better on earth, I don't think. To know that you are loved.
No,
Right?
I agree with that. I think that you could feel that she was trying to get that point across, and she would actually want to elaborate, but already did, and she wanted to so much more. But there's nothing. It's like trying to grab something that you can't touch.
Yeah. She's great. Erica Kirk. All right, so we got a couple of phone calls
Right.
saying, why is Vic so stupid? Is
Well,
that what they said? Is that what they said? Why is Vic so stupid?
Kind of. No, Radina Ray. All right, Radina.
Rosina?
No, Radina.
Rodina.
Radina.
Radina.
Radina. All right.
Yeah.
She called.
Yeah.
And said, "Listen, they're also called indigenous people." She was very sweet. Radina, she's a very sweet lady. Thank you for listening, Radina. We appreciate it. Also, then Ray called right after that.
Yeah.
And said the same thing.
So what's the point?
The point is that they are called indigenous people, whether they're in Canada or they're in America.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm going to disagree with that because here's why.
Okay.
When people talk about Native Americans or
Yeah.
Indians,
Right.
when was the last time you said indigenous people?
Myself personally?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I've said it. No, I have. Vic, I'm Sapulpa Indian.
Okay.
So
I offend you, and I'm saying this whole thing offend you?
No, you don't offend me at all. I don't care about any of that stuff. I mean, I am offended the fact that the Washington Redskins changed their name. I'm offended with all that.
And I'll tell you what, okay? I'm just saying that the team was never called the Cleveland Indigenous People. Can't even fit it on the jersey.
You're right.
Cleveland Indians. So my point, it was just a joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a joke. Native Americans, do they say Native Canadians? If there was some indigenous, if there was a phrase that included the word indigenous and the word Canadian was in it or American was in it, I would have used that. But that's not comedy. Comedy is Native American, Native Canadian, because they didn't have borders. They didn't know. They were just living.
Exactly right.
The indigenous people.
The indigenous people, and Radina and Ray, thank you very much for the input. Indigenous people it is.
For now.
For now.
Till I get off the air, then I'll just say what I was saying. And I'm not saying. Do I sound like racist or something?
No. In fact, the word Indian to most people is like, okay, they're called Indians because that was an adopted thing that happened way back when. And by now, Indian is just they're known as Indians. That's what people know them as. I don't know.
When they got here, they said thought they were in India. Are you Indians?
Oh, yeah.
You're Indians.
You're Indians. Go ahead.
That's Louis C.K. All right, so I'm shocked because I'm shocked at a couple of things, and I'm ashamed of you and I, Ken.
Why?
Because John Fetterman, we made fun of, and maybe we shouldn't have, but that's our job here, isn't it? To make fun of.
Yeah, I was setting something up. I was actually in the middle of producing this thing where it was a conversation. I took Joe Biden clips and I took John Fetterman clips. Yeah. But if you remember, in all fairness,
yes,
if you remember when John Fetterman first came back to becoming a senator, some of his conversation was really whacked out.
Yeah.
It was almost as bad as Joe Biden.
But
on a regular day.
I think you're right, but I also think he's healed now.
Oh, I think he's better.
He's healed.
He's not completely healed because you can hear some things in his delivery that are a little disjointed, but you can actually tell that he knows what he's talking about, though.
Sometimes he sounds more lucid and salient than I do.
Correct. I'm kidding.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm just
whatever.
Giving it trouble.
We're done. Is Ashlyn available to do this show?
By the way, thank you, Ashlyn. You did an amazing job.
She was great, Ken.
And she was so focused. And I here's what I appreciate is when you give people some information that's going to help them, and they go, okay, hold on, let me write this down.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Or let me take a video of what you're talking about. She was so on.
So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And she didn't call me fat, and she didn't call me old, and she didn't call me stupid like you do.
I did not.
Not one time did she say that. She didn't go, good morning, fatty. Not one time.
Not once.
You say that every morning.
Every day.
What's up, fatso? So here's Senator John Fetterman talking about his party.
I'm never going to change my party, but clearly we've lost the argument, and right now I think it's entirely appropriate to really be honest and just figure out why exactly have we effectively lost 2 out of the last 3 cycles, and a lot of the things we've really kind of really lost our connection with American voters in ways. And I think we can't just be, well, Trump is always wrong, or that we're going to set the country on fire or whatever. That's just not true either, of course. And you always can't forget that a lot of Americans happen to disagree with you. That does not mean that they are fascists. They're protesting about, oh, that's the Hitler thing. You just don't ever compare anyone to Hitler and those kinds of extreme things.
Why doesn't he grab the other Democrats by their shirt collars and say that to them?
I think verbally he's trying to, but I don't think he's gaining much ground, Vic. They've lurched so far left. They're Marxists. They're getting ready. They're trying to massage themselves into a socialist society. I believe this. I think the left has gone so far that they are ready. They're not going to hide it anymore. They're going to start doing. I think more killings are going to happen. I'll be honest with you. I think this is the beginning of some terrible things happening, and it's all on the left. This is all the left. And John Fetterman, he's trying to be rational. He's saying things like, "Look, our connection with the American voters, it's lost. We kind of lost it, but it's understandable because all the 80-20 issues and 90-10 issues that are happening in this country, the left is all on the other side of." Right. And then he says, "You can't be saying that Trump is always wrong." The left. You're saying this stuff, and it's not resonating with the public because it can't possibly be true.
Right. So some of the things that what Ken just played there was from the CNN interview, right?
Yeah.
So some of the other things he said in that interview: stop calling Trump an autocrat. Don't force a government shutdown. Accept Trump's help on crime.
Yes.
Stand with Israel against Islamism. And Mamdani doesn't reflect our party. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things you will never hear any other Democrat in Congress or the Senate ever say.
And unfortunately for John Fetterman, I disagree with a lot of what he's saying, or a couple of things he's saying there. One big one is that Mamdani doesn't represent the Democrat Party. Yes, he does. If he wins, especially if he wins. He's already being represented by AOC and Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
They are endorsing him.
Yeah.
So therefore, by default, he is a part of the Democrat Party as a fascist.
I agree with you, Ken, but I don't think that's what he's saying here. I think what he's saying is Mamdani is not good. He don't vote for him.
No, I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying, that what he's trying to say, and he's trying to push his party back more to the center.
Right.
But it's not going to happen. It can't happen right now. It's already. It's like they say that old thing of putting toothpaste back in the toothpaste container.
Yeah, who says that?
I don't know. People do.
They do that? They put toothpaste.
You can't. You just can't.
You can't.
No, I've tried it, and it won't work.
Why do I totally believe that?
No, I have. But it was a bad situation.
I love it.
But anyway,
it was a bad situation.
It really was.
We were strapped for cash, man. We needed to put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste.
He's trying to do it. He's trying to do it and move them back to the center, and it's been passed. AOC already played her hand. She's out there, and so is Chuck Schumer. They are for Mamdani, and they're for the guy, the mayor in Minnesota and in San Francisco right now that are Islam. They're trying to go that direction.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that Fetterman is saying smarter things than any other Democrat is saying.
Totally agree with you.
And, he's come a long way from, hi, everybody, good night, or whatever he said. Hi, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, when we made fun of him.
Well, that's just fun now. I mean, he makes sense now, Vic. And this is the kind of person that a Democrat, this is somebody you can sit down with and have a reasonable debate with.
Yeah.
You won't agree with everything that he says, but at least you're able to talk about it. He's not going to pull out a gun on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or punch in the face, which, by the way, you have a guy, what's his name? Newsom?
Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, Gavin Newsom. He said this.
I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Huh. Now, do you want to sit down next to this guy and debate him? You might want to punch in the face, and then you're going to reply.
Do you want to talk about who's the violent party, Republicans or Democrats?
Exactly right, Vic.
Punch him in the face. Joe Biden wanted to take Trump behind the high school and beat the hell out of him. They're a very violent party.
They are.
And what do? We pray. We have vigils.
Right.
We light candles.
But don't take that as a sign of weakness, the left.
Oh, go
do
right
not
ahead.
do that.
I say go ahead. Go ahead and take that as a sign of weakness.
Well, okay.
Watch what happens.
Right.
Watch
right,
what happens.
right.
Okay. Okay. I think is that time right too? That one over there? No, of course not. Why would it be right? I don't know. I think I'm not. Believe me, I'm not jumping on the Fetterman bandwagon. But when he debated Dr. Oz, and they had to have a special thing for him. Remember a TV screen?
Yeah.
So we could read the words. I was really mad at that. I still am. And he beat Dr. Oz in the election. And then I was really worried because he has always been a left-wing nutcase, John Fetterman, when he was lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania.
It seemed like he was more radically left
Totally.
back then.
Not
yeah.
even a little bit.
Right.
And I also thought that why okay, now I'm going to violate every American Disability Act thing here. Why is it okay that he would get a special TV in front of him in Congress, in the Senate, when it just would slow everything down? I just didn't think it was a good idea. Now, you know what? He wants to say, don't call Trump an autocrat. Yeah, stop calling Trump an autocrat.
Yeah.
Stop being idiots. Because they're idiots.
No, I don't know. I don't know whether it's his constituency that changed him or the accident or some kind of epiphany, but he has moved
I'll tell you what
to
it
the
is.
center.
It's Israel. It's him being Jewish.
Okay.
And him seeing people in his own party not sticking up for Israel against Hamas and Palestinians and all that other crap.
Okay.
That's what it was. And then he was like, well, wait a minute, maybe there's other stuff these idiots aren't doing right.
And he's looking into it. Yeah.
All right, I've had this piece of paper in my hand twice. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but it's Tim Jones going on his Conservative Voices tour here in St. Louis. We'll read it next hour.
Let's do.
There's no time now. There's too much going on, Ken. On News Talk STL, welcome home.
Whoosh. To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Jamie Allman here with the Allman Report. Pleased to be with Jordan Rosenblum. Google the bagel loan. That's what it's all about. Jordan, tell me about purchasing a home, brother.
Purchasing a home right now, it's a tough market. You're going to see a lot of competition. On the bagel loan that we have, you're going to have no closing costs, no title fees, no appraisal fees, no lender fees. Saves an average client almost $4,000 on a transaction. Customer service, unbelievable. Text, call anytime.
As I know, as a real estate agent, Google the bagel loan. Google the bagel loan, folks.
NMLS number 226715. Escape to Stone Ledge Distillery in historic Defiance, Missouri, where Missouri-made spirits meet unforgettable experiences. Sip handcrafted cocktails and martinis in our lounge, unwind in the private cigar room, or soak up the outdoors on our outdoor patio and live music stage. Celebrate Stolock Ozark Highlands whiskey, Inversion vodka, and the best of Missouri spirits. One drink at a time. Mention NewstalkSTL and get 10% off your tab. Visit stoneledgedistillery.com. Your getaway starts here.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. In a live radio broadcast from the White House today, President J.D. Vance will host the Charlie Kirk Show. as a tribute to the Salem Radio Network star who was assassinated on a college campus in Utah last week. The vice president's broadcast beginning this hour on the Salem Radio Network and the Salem News Channel. On Sunday, NFL teams, including the Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, the New Orleans Saints, and others, observed moments of silence prior to kickoff in honor of Charlie Kirk. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says the Turning Point USA founder's murder recalled a dark time in our country's past.
I was a young guy, but aware in the 60s when we had huge violence, lost President Kennedy, his brother, and many, many others, Martin Luther King. And so it's something that we really all need to just be aware of, support our law enforcement, and do everything we can to keep the violence in check.
And in Washington, Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina introduced a resolution to allow Charlie Kirk to lie in honor in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol. With the latest on the investigation of 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, the Utah man charged with the killing of Charlie Kirk, here's correspondent Luke Garrett.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox said on Sunday that according to interviews with family and friends of the 22-year-old suspect Tyler Robinson, his politics veered to the left. Cox said Robinson's views had emerged after he had spent large amounts of time scrolling the dark corners of the internet in recent years. He added that Robinson is not cooperating with law enforcement. State records show Robinson is registered to vote, but not affiliated with a political party.
Correspondent Luke Garrett. Formal charges could be filed as early as today, when Robinson will make his first court appearance. That's on Tuesday. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD.
Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros, your all-in-one gutter service team that brings years of experience and quality that's affordable right to your doorstep. We discovered Gutter Pros a few years ago when we bought our home and inherited a gutter issue that was on the road to becoming a potentially big problem, but thanks to Gutter Pros was stopped before causing any major damage. They've also repaired the siding on our home because along with gutter repair, gutter installation, and leaf protection, the Gutter Pros are also the best for siding repair and installation. Learn about all the ways Gutter Pros can help your home at gutterpros.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Darting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
A 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
And speaking, Ken,
yeah,
of taking the whoosh to the radical left, I hate to do this to you. Do you have the Rob Bluey thing that he did? So a couple of weeks ago, we asked Rob Bluey, we said, hey, Rob, we explained the whole whoosh thing to him. I think we even played him the what do you whoosh?
We did,
right?
yeah.
And then I told him that Ken was starting to put it into, do you remember the first song you put it into?
Not really.
Oh, yeah, Como Va.
Oh, yeah, Como Va.
Yeah, I
yeah.
swear to God, I'll never forget it. Dun, 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 dun. Whoosh. I almost fell off my chair. I actually did fall off my chair, but that was because I was fat. So, we said to Rob, Rob is such a straight-laced guy.
Oh, he really is. And he's well known.
And I don't say that in a bad way.
No.
He's just not an idiot like me. But I don't know what he does for fun. I have no idea. He could be the craziest drinking. Hey, let's have another beer. He could be that.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. But he's very straight-laced. And when we asked him, we said, hey, can you just kind of fit whoosh into one of your conversations on Newsmax or CNN? And he goes, hey, okay, I'll try. He laughed that laugh that he always laughs. And says, okay, I'll try. And then he didn't. And then I said to him, you could say like, the crime and stuff in D.C. There was bad crime, and then Trump came and whoosh, it all went away. And that was the exact context he actually used, and he did it.
In this particular case, carjacking's down, robbery's down, no murders for a period. Whoosh, all of the numbers incredibly dropping. And
and whoosh, all of the numbers incredibly dropping. So here's the dichotomy. The people who were interviewing him said, okay, whoosh, well, crime went away. That makes sense. Whoosh,
it went away.
Whoosh, all the crime went away.
Right.
Or he was like, hey, what the hell is that?
Something.
Whoosh. What's this Rob Bluey up to?
See, when I first saw the video, I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe they'll like say, what do you mean whoosh? No, that didn't happen.
Could you imagine?
Well, there are these two idiots in St. Louis.
So listen, Ken and I, we're having fun doing this show.
Oh yeah.
I never imagined it would be this much fun, and you really make it fun. But
you as well, Vic, for sure.
We have ideas that are more just for entertainment than we really think anything will happen. I.e., President Trump eating the cookies.
Boy,
right?
but that would have been great if he would have said something about it.
But we didn't think that one through. There's no way you send food to the president of the United States and he just eats it. Like, there's got to be somebody here, try one of these. If you don't die, I'll eat one. If you die, I'm not having any.
But the reps Bob Onder and Eric Burlison, they enjoyed it. And Nate did too.
And there's all three of them.
All three of them.
It's a conspiracy.
By the way, Nate, I believe we're going to be talking with this Thursday.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. We'll ask him what the hell. If he looks a little fatter, it's probably because he ate all the cookies. So we'll ask him about that.
All right.
So anyway, we thought it would be fun if President Trump, called us.
Yeah.
It's a lofty goal, but it's not completely crazy out of the question, right? So that never happened. So then we're talking to Rob Bluey on a weekly basis. He's been a great addition to the show for more than a year now.
Oh, he's been actually a lot longer than a year.
2 years?
Yeah, probably.
And we said, now Rob is on. Oh, is that Rob on CNN? That's how it happened, Ken. Look, is that Rob on CNN we're watching, right?
Yeah.
Ken's like, yeah, that's him. And it wasn't CNN. It was Newsmax. He was on Newsmax. And then I see him on the internet. And I'm like, Ken, he was on CNN. So we said, well, what if we can make him say whoosh during one of his answers? And I'll be damned, he did it.
He did it.
Yep. So.
Whoosh.
Play the whole Woody Woody's whoosh.
Oh, yeah.
because that's
and for those who don't know about it, that's where it came from. I have to find it.
okay. I remember the first time we played this. I don't know. You had to say what kind of crazy stuff that Biden says can I pull out and play for Vic, and that was one. Did you find it?
If that's what he is, whoosh.
If that is what he is, whoosh.
If that's what he is, whoosh.
I don't even know what that is.
What the context is? There's no.
If
context.
that's what he is, whoosh.
I don't know.
You know what I remember most about that? Two things: that and the fistulates in the Eastern Congo, right?
But I feel badly also about the fistulates that are taking place in Eastern Congo.
And the reaction via text from Katie Fitzpatrick,
right,
who worked there. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard." And that was before we knew you could make AI stuff like the president talking about Vic and Ken. Keep bringing the whoosh to the radical left thing.
Yo, Vic and Ken, you're the best, the absolute best. Keep taking the whoosh to those crazy radical lefties, my brothers.
My brothers. President Trump called us his brothers. Before we knew you could even do anything like that, Biden saying the fistulates, the whoosh, So then Ken just takes the whoosh, which was one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen in 40 years of radio, was you just taking whoosh and now making it part of the vernacular of the people who listen to this show. Here, I have not looked at the chat box yet. I don't look at it until I am ready to read it. But I'll bet you there's a whoosh early on. Okay, so maybe it's not catching on like maybe it was. Hold on, maybe it was Rumble. Yes, okay. So the very first one, we'll do the official chat box in half an hour. Good morning, all freedom-fading patriot Vic heads. That's Duke, and then Duke says right after that, "Whoosh, my brothers and sisters."
See, that's what I like.
It's like you always say. It's like ciao or
aloha, or welcome,
or shalom,
shalom, whoosh.
Whoosh, my brothers and sisters.
What I really liked was the first time someone said that on the stream. They said, "Whoosh, my brothers and sisters." I'm like, that's great.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
It's almost like you should hear it in church. Whoosh, my brothers and sisters. Yeah. That's right. Okay. All right. Can we get serious here? Will you stop screwing around?
I'll try.
Okay. There's a couple of things, and then we'll get back to the Charlie Kirk thing. So Barron Trump, so vulnerable right now.
Yeah. I'm glad he's making moves.
He's so vulnerable that he can't be in a classroom or on a campus right now. He can't. Charlie Kirk got shot on a campus.
Do you know, this brings up a great point, Vic, is that I heard Charlie Kirk was also murdered because there was fear that he was going to be becoming a politician and then possibly a president later down in life. Well, then when you look at President Trump's son, that he's a prime target for that.
Yeah.
And if the left is thinking that way, well, they're a terrorist organization. The left is that's what they've become.
And I'm not even sure they're smart enough to think what you just said, that maybe Barron would become a president or anything. I just think it's Trump. Oh, Trump, shoot him, kill him. His name is Trump, kill him.
Right.
Without even any thinking of anything. Because, okay, so I guess we're back on Charlie Kirk. The reasons why Charlie Kirk got shot was because he spreads hate, and he is a fascist,
right?
And he is a Nazi, and he is none of those things,
right?
He was a free speech advocate. Okay. By the way, did you see the South Park thing when they made fun of him?
Yes, I did.
It's so funny.
It's pretty
and
funny.
He even said it was
he liked
funny.
it. Yeah.
The best part that he liked the most was Cartman because Charlie always put the microphone down,
yeah,
and then picked it up to answer the question,
right?
So Cartman and then he opens the water, takes a quick sip, and puts it back,
right?
Charlie goes, "That was so dead on. I do that all the time, So anyway, I'm sorry. So, he is not a Nazi, he is not a fascist, and he is not spreading hate. People say he's spreading hate without even listening to him, Ken. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what the left does, though. Think about this for a second, Vic. If you don't have a comeback to Charlie Kirk, what do? Well, you call him a fascist.
Okay.
If you don't have a comeback to him, if you can't debate him with the facts, with honest debate, then what are you going to do? You're going to label him. This is what the left does. This is the Democrat Party. Think about that. That's where Ed Stoit comes from. I mean, we talk about this all the time, about everything Democrats say the opposite is true, because what they do is they act, then they create this scenario that their action is actually what the Republicans are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what is it? Karl Marx has made comments about this. Goebbels had made comments about this. These are all fascists that they are actually aspire to. They actually emulate their comments, the things that they've aspired as being a forceful thing in their lives, as being something that actually works in propaganda. They do it.
Yeah.
The Democrat Party are fascists.
It's all political strategy.
It is.
It's military strategy.
It really is.
So last night I was having a little back and forth with Ed Stoit on Facebook, and because he sends me, you have no idea how many things he sends me. He is a constant. Here's articles. Here's this. Here's that. And he said to me last night, he said, just my opinion, I think a Cold War, civil war has already started. The loony left will be suffering a right-wing backlash of being canceled. A lot of firings have happened already. Employers are finally standing up. They know. And then he said, and now I fully believe Ed Stoit to be true in many, many ways. And I just replied with, how long have we been saying that, Ed Stoit? That's our thing. We made that up.
Yeah.
Okay. So if President Trump says, it's Ed Stoit, they're all Ed Stoit, everything Democrats say, the opposite is true, they stole it from us.
Yeah. And it's true. I mean, they have nothing to come back with. What do they do whenever they don't have an answer? You're a racist. I mean, what do they say?
Mm-hmm.
They never try to analyze a situation and say, well, what about this scenario, Republicans? Then you'll never hear that from them anymore. That ship has sailed. That train has left the station. They're ready to say, okay, let's see. They really have a good point here. Okay, you know what? You're a racist. That's what they do, Vic.
Yeah, they do.
This is it.
They do. And people, accuse us of being racist. And
what was the first thing they did with Trump when they could not figure out how to combat him? What did they say in Charlotte? What did they say about him? They said that he was a racist. He was for the white supremacists that were there in that parade, when in fact it was about the statue and the people who were both
Charlottesville.
Charlottesville. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Charlottesville.
Okay.
And there were people on both sides of the issue of the statue being torn down or not.
Mm-hmm.
He said there were people on both sides of that issue, not about white supremacists. It had nothing to do with it, but they said, you know what, this is a good opportunity, and media will follow us. So let's go.
And I think there are people who are smart enough to know the difference and went with it anyway. One being Billy Joel.
Yeah.
When I watched that, there's a documentary on Netflix, I guess, about his career, because he came out on stage with a yellow Jewish star on his lapel.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. But then the reason why was good people on both sides argument from Charlottesville.
Oh, okay.
And he's smart enough to know the difference.
Right.
And he's smart enough to say, did he really say that? Like, does Billy Joel, a guy who has so much thought into songs that he makes, really didn't go through and say, did he really say that? Let's see what he really said.
Yeah. And not enough people did that.
Well, why wouldn't he, Mr. Songwriter, Mr. Emotion, Mr. Words, right?
Right. No, I think the media is so complicit in all this. That whole Smith Month act, I think that's stunning that Ellie Mae, that we played earlier, is trying to move this forward to become the Charlie Kirk Act. That needs to happen.
Can we play a little bit of it now?
Yeah.
Her name is Ellie Mae. I apologize to Ellie Mae because, ladies and gentlemen, I, Vic Porcelli, judged a book by its cover. And I saw this girl, and Jessica sent it to me, and I was like, what is this libturd going to say? I mean, she has the look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrible. This is terrible what I'm saying. I'm prejudging people. I'm being prejudicious. However, this is what she said.
Alrighty, this message is for President Trump and his administration. If you stay to watch the video, please tag him down below, share, and repost so we can try to get this to him as quickly as possible and hope that he can do something with this. President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act. You make
Great idea.
And why would they do that? Why would they try and get rid of it? What is the reason for them getting rid of that?
Come on, you said that's a rhetorical question, right?
Very.
Yeah, because they want to control the narrative of the media, which they have done.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I just know that the propaganda on and I feel vindicated too, you and I, because how long have we talked about God? We don't want to trample on the First Amendment,
right?
Freedom of the press and everything.
You always preface that with we don't want to jump on and destroy the First Amendment. We don't want to do that to anyone's rights.
Right. But they can be held accountable in a financial way and get fined.
And ironically, Donald Trump found a way to do that.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
He did. But he didn't eat the cookies.
No
cookies.
Nope.
All right, listen, conservative voices will not be silenced. That's the name of the events that are being hosted by our very own former Speaker of the House, Tim Jones, along with the Republican Township Committees at 2 big events, the tax increase town hall with legislative updates Saturday, October 11th at 9 a.m. at Daniel Boone Library, 300 Clarkson Road, and the Right to Life campaign kickoff Thursday, November 13th at 6 p.m. at the DePere Lodge on DePere Road right off of Manchester in West County. So go, Mr. Speaker. Right?
Yeah. And Tim's so good, man.
He's
I mean,
the best.
you hear him on this show, but get him out there on that stage and he just goes. It's great.
Yeah. So here's a guy who is the former Speaker of the House, smart guy, has these events, and yet he still comes on with us and says, whoosh.
That's right.
My brothers. Okay, Douglas Blair is next. He lives in D.C. He's with the Public Interest Legal Foundation. What about that thing at the Kennedy Center last night?
Yeah.
It's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number 1 for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Going to Disney World or any other world.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
News Talk STL.
First thing in the morning and pretty much all day.
Live and local. 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
For 93 years, R&R Ace Hardware in St. Clair has been your family-owned destination. We're more than hardware. Find Carhartt clothing, gifts, toys, fishing gear, and fabric all under one roof. 4 generations of small-town service with big store selection. R&R Ace Hardware in St. Clair. Worth the drive.
Hey, firearms enthusiast. Looking for a family and veteran-owned shop with a wide selection of products and services? Head to DG Firearms, 115 Business Highway 61 North in Bowling Green. DG Firearms has been your one-stop shop for custom ARs, Cerakoting, laser engraving, gunsmithing, suppressors, ammo, and reloading supplies. DG Firearms, 115 Business Highway 61 North in Bowling Green. And online at dgfirearmsllc.com.
Chris Arps here, and after Becky and I leave church on Sunday, we head down the street to Capriotti's to grab a classic meatball sub. And of course, for dessert, I get a giant chocolate chip cookie. I love Capriotti's, and you will too.
On Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
News, analysis, opinion.
Historic meeting between European leaders, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Trump.
We want to stop the killing, get this settled.
1019 and 94.1.
We all want peace.
News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Forget about it.
This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, 99.1 HD3 and NewstalkSTL.com.
Oh, sorry. Good morning, everybody. Monday. Today's Monday.
Monday.
Kenny's back from Zion National Park. Hope you had a great time.
I had one.
No more vacations for you. Ashley did a great job. But you're Ken. You're the boss.
And thanks to Ashlyn for that.
She was great. All right, time to get a PILF on the phone. You got a PILF on the phone?
This just in. For the latest news from the DC swamp and beyond, this is the Vic Porcelli Show East Coast Report with Douglas Blair on News Talk STL.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Doug Blair. How are you, baby?
Oh, I'm doing great, Vic. Favorite part of my Monday, spending it with you guys.
Thank you so much. Would have been cooler if you said favorite part of the week. Favorite part of Monday.
That's
fine.
all right.
We'll let it go. All right.
All right.
So you're in DC. Am I right? You live in DC, right?
Yeah, so we moved a little bit out of DC, but we're still, visiting.
You're in the Beltway. You're within the Beltway. Okay. So tell me, last night, this thing at the Kennedy Center, right? Because the libs are like, oh, Trump can't take the Kennedy Center. He sucks. He's a Nazi. He's Hitler. And what a great, beautiful vigil for Charlie last night at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely beautiful and stunning. And I think it's very telling, too, that the way we celebrate the life of somebody who was so cruelly taken from us is to calmly, peacefully move to kind of look at what they did and celebrate their life. And when you look at the alternative, I think that there were some very apt comparisons on social media about how when a leftist dies or a leftist icon dies, they burn cities down, right? Like DC did not have to board up any windows. DC did not have to, basically call in police to make sure that hooligans didn't destroy businesses. It was a peaceful thing. People waited around the block to get into the Kennedy Center. And I think that really speaks to how we view the role of mourning and what we should do when somebody is so cruelly taken from us.
One of the phrases all over social media from people who are conservatives is what you're alluding to there, Doug, and that is that we are not the same. We don't burn down buildings. We don't start fires. We don't shoot people. We pray.
Yeah. And I think that should be remembered, especially as there is this concerted effort to say, well, both sides. No, I'm sorry. I am done with this narrative that like, oh, well, both sides need to cool it. I can't think of a single time where there has been a concerted effort from upper leadership saying the opposition is going to destroy the world. Literally, they will throw people into camps. They will shoot them. You will be dead if you vote for them. That has come from anywhere other than the left. I think that people will say that Trump uses inflammatory language. Sure, 100%. I don't disagree with that at all. But there was a concerted effort to paint Trump and Trump supporters as Nazis for years. And I think that this is finally coming home to roost. So sorry, I'm not going to play this game of like, we're both the same. Let's all turn down the rhetoric. It's like, stop calling us Nazis and fascists and stop saying that we're going to like throw people into concentration camps, and maybe this won't happen anymore.
See, Doug, I think that's a great point, because here's what the Democrats do. And this is the left, this is the Democrats, they do it all the time. They try to steal the narrative, and actually they're very successful at stealing the narrative. And then this is why we need to be on the offense and keep our narrative the way it's supposed to be. For example, they say, well, you need to cool down. Everybody needs to cool down and stop being so violent. No. See, this is the narrative they're trying to pass along now, is that both sides need to calm down. They never want to say, well, you know, the Republicans, people on the right, conservatives, MAGA, they haven't been killing anybody. They haven't been doing all these different things that they've been doing, but yet both sides need to calm down. No, need to tone it down. No, that's not the way it's going to work anymore. See, when they say that, Doug, we need to say, no, you need to calm it down.
Yeah, and I think we also need to just continuously point to things that the left has been trying to bury, right? I mean, obviously, we are 5 years on from 2020, but I think we need to point to every single time a leftist says, oh, you know, the left doesn't commit political violence, we need to point to what they did in Minneapolis, what they did in Portland, what they did in all of these blue cities for months at a time, all in the name of some thug who died of a fentanyl overdose. When they say, oh, you know, the right engages in assassinations, we need to point to attempted assassinations of a Supreme Court justice, 2 assassination attempts on the current president of the United States, and a successful assassination attempt on a conservative commentator. We need to basically point out these things and stop letting them go with this both sides nonsense. It's funny, too, because when the left goes and says, oh, well, the right is intolerant, we need to, you know, in the name of tolerance, get them out of here, it sort of paints a picture that, like, they're the ones who are actually intolerant. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. There's a sort of Charlie Kirk analog on the left. His name is Parker something. I can't remember what his last name is, but he does a lot of this, goes to colleges, talks with people, streams online, and tries to give leftists talking points. And he heard the news about Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, and he cried on his stream, because of course you do. If you're a human being, you recognize that what happened was horrible. This man was murdered in cold blood in front of his family, in front of his children. And the leftists who are so tolerant started harassing him and saying, how dare you cry about this fascist dying? How dare you cry about this Nazi dying? And I think that, like, that illustrates so clearly that this isn't a both sides thing, because if, God forbid, if this guy was to be murdered, or if Joe Biden was to be murdered or die, I can't think of a single conservative who would sit there and be like, yeah, I'm so happy he's dead. We would be in mourning. This is a person with a family, with children, with loved ones, and we would say this is very sad. I don't think that that's the case for the opposition. I don't think that's the case for the left. They would celebrate it. They have been celebrating it.
And this goes right along with what I was saying earlier about them stealing the narrative. We cannot allow that. The narrative is so important these days, especially with social media and everything. And here's an example. They took J6 and they said, well, everything comes from J6. All this violence that's happening right now came from J6. They never mention anything about the Summer of Love and all the buildings being burned, the billions of dollars lost, there were 20 people who were murdered during the Summer of Love alone. Okay. And they never mentioned that. They always their go-to is, well, just talk about J6.
Right. I mean, again, they just can't help themselves. It's like a reflex. I mean, especially after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, you saw people on CNN, MSNBC, all these leftist outlets saying things, well, like, you know, January 6th. It's like, okay, the American public has given their verdict on that. The American public has said, you know, what some of these people did wasn't great, and we're not thrilled about some of the things that happened, but we are going to elect President Trump again. We are going to say that this is not a big, like, it's not something we want to keep rehashing. What we want to talk about is the ongoing political violence that's happening, not something that happened 5 years ago, right? Like, let's get this solved now. But again, I think that that's really telling, is that their best example of something that's happened where it's like conservative, quote unquote, political violence is something that happened 5 years ago that the American public has already said, stop talking about this, let's move on. They can't find anything else, so they have to keep rehashing this one thing that we've already told them stop.
Yeah.
So people who lost their jobs, there was one instance, I'm sure there's more than one, but this one instance was at Office Depot, I believe it was. And they had a part of her job was, here, print this banner. We want you to print this banner. It's, for Charlie Kirk. And she refused to do it. Now that's different than people on TikTok. Yeah, I'm glad Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck, because this was her job. Do your job.
Yeah.
So you get fired too.
I mean, I think, Vic, this might be somewhat of a controversial take, but I'm not losing any sleep over the people who are losing their jobs for celebrating.
No, me neither.
Because, again, I think that this is also very. This is one of those things where it has to get better before it gets worse, because there was an argument when the left was in the driver's seat in the cultural sphere, whether or not the right should utilize the tactics of the left, whether or not if we were to regain power, we should be able to, redo this sort of messaging war and say to these people, well, now that we can get you fired, we're going to do it. There was a discussion about whether or not that was betraying our principles. And I think, frankly, if we don't do that, if we don't tell these people, now you get to see how bad it is when your well-being and your job is at risk of getting taken away from you because of a political opinion that's unsavory, I think they'll just do it again.
But Doug,
right? Because if we can sort of go ahead.
No, I was just I have to push back on this a little bit, because here's what I just remember vividly, that I couldn't say certain things online. I was thrown off 3 times on X when it was Twitter. Yeah. Okay, because I said just things. I said things that were just conservative. That was it, and I got thrown off. These people now, they're crying because I lost my job because of free speech. No. Free speech is alive and well right now. And what's happening is, you said something that was so derogatory to the ownership of the companies you work for, they don't want you to represent them anymore. That's their free speech.
No, and I will, but here's the thing. I will own that it is the same tactics that they use, because, again, that's what they would argue when they were in charge. They would say, oh, you're saying something that's so onerous.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Yes, so they're saying so onerous that something that, like, your company just can't deal with it anymore. And that's the exact argument that they would use. And so I'm basically saying turnabout is fair play. You don't get to do this for a decade and then just say, hey, let's lower the temperature. It's to sort of, loop it back together. It's like, you don't get to play the game where you're the only one who gets to do something. And then when you start losing, say, hey, well, maybe let's go play something else. No, sorry, you did this. You were the one that set it up that if you were to say something politically unpalatable on social media, you could lose your job. If you were to go out in 2016 and say, I was a Trump supporter on your Facebook, you might get fired. And now you're saying, like, oh, I can't say I don't think that Charlie Kirk should be alive, and I think that it's a good thing that he died and not get fired. No, spare me.
Yeah, I get your point on that now. Yeah, I totally agree with you. We're actually saying the same thing, really.
All right.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm going to take Ken's blood pressure. I think it's high right now. And thank you so much. How do we find your organization on the internet?
Absolutely. So if you go to publicinterestlegal.org, you'll find some stuff there. We actually are doing some really solid work in Texas. We're doing some really solid work in New York, California, Maine, a lot of these states that have god-awful voter rolls. We are making sure that they are facing the music and that they will follow federal law, or we'll sue.
All right, Doug. Thank you so much, man. Great to have you on. We'll talk next week. Ken Williams. All right, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. See ya.
Jessica has a blood pressure cuff at home.
Oh, really?
I'm bringing it in, and the next time you get like you just got, I'm going to take your blood pressure, because you got to be up to like 220 over 110 right now. All right, so coming up on September 20th is the Fall Festival in Warrenton, Missouri, noon till 9:30 on Main Street. Joe DiMessina will be performing, and we had her on.
That's a free show, too, by the way.
Yeah, she was great, right?
She was fun. And I think she enjoyed her visit.
I think she did too. And the show is free, which I was going to say, but Ken jumped in there and said it because he's had a week of not being a Thunder Stealer.
And it's been killing me.
Now he is. So
Ken, Thunder Stealer.
Lots of fun. Cliff jumps, inflatables, scarecrow bounce house, inflatable corn maze. Inflatable corn maze.
I like that.
Trampoline bungee. Not doing that, but if the kids want to do it, go ahead. 9-course inflatable mini golf course. A lot of fun. Main Street in Warrenton, the Fall Festival, and Joe D. Messina, the big headliner. All right, Ken, you're back. The chat box is next. I'll bet one or two of them mention your name. That's next.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL.
Hey, this is Jim Florentine, and you listen to Vic and Ken on the Vic Porcelli Show on 94.1 and 101.9 News Talk STL.
Columbo and Company.
Join us every day for conversations with a wide variety of guests as we cover every angle of all the important news stories and issues you need to know about.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Newstalk STL, the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise, and the Young America's Foundation welcome Steve Forbes to Lindenwood University for an inspiring evening on how free enterprise and entrepreneurship make America great. Discover how free markets and small business drive innovation, prosperity, and opportunity. Thursday, September 18th at Lindenwood University Scheidegger Center for the Arts. And this in-person event is free. Reserve your tickets now at hammondinstitute.org. Brought to you by Mid-Rivers and West News Magazines.
Dude, this house is perfect. Crumbs everywhere, sticky counters. I've already texted the colony.
Sweet, I'll bring my 500 cousins. This'll be the biggest ant rager of the summer.
Let's party! Wait, oh, what's that sound? Oh, no, it's those trucks with the green wheels. Party's over, man. Party's over.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888 to learn more about our special $67 offer.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
Whoosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I'm going to grab a bite to eat. You want like a sandwich or something? What kind of sandwich ain't too fattening? I have the sandwich.
On News Talk STL.
Okay. Ken?
Yeah, babe.
When I die, on my headstone, would you somewhere on it put whoosh?
Whoosh, it has to be there.
Has to be out.
I want mine there too.
Yeah. I'll make sure if you die before me, I'll make sure it's on
Okay,
there.
thank
If I
you.
die before you, which is more likely. Put a whoosh, my brothers and sisters. All right, here we go. Chat box music. I mean, shut up, picking with chat box comments. Kathleen gets going with good morning, fam, bam. Dave Stouffer, happy Monday, Vic heads. Welcome home, Ken. Oh, see what he did there? Welcome home.
Oh, thanks.
Ken.
Thank
Very good, Dave. We cannot simply wish these circumstances away. There is no alternative route for us to take at this juncture. We are all navigating an unprecedented situation. This has been unfolding for quite some time. Unfortunately, adopting a passive stance and wishing for improvement and taking the proverbial high road has not yielded desirable results. I'll say it again, Ken. When you and I have been saying we have to be on the offensive, I think Donald Trump's listening to the show.
Right.
And I think he was like, they're right. No more Department of Defense. Now we're the Department of War. I think that was smart.
I think it's very smart.
Because if you're the Department of Defense, oh, look at them. They're on the defensive already. The war hasn't even started yet.
It makes so much sense when you put it that way.
But if it's the Department of War, oh, hold on, guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
Stand down.
They have a Department of War. We don't want to mess with them.
Right. GMMFVH. Thank you, Barb. Glad you had a great vacation. All right, this is going to be all about Ken. Is this gonna be all about Ken?
Thank you.
Ken Ashland did a good job replacing you, and yes, Vic really missed you too. I did, but he's back now. We don't have to go. Here's another one. Welcome back, Ken.
Thank you.
There are reports that Donald Trump has called for immigrants who are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk in this country to be deported. I don't know. That's going a little far. being government-run public schools, being accountable to. Dave Sylvester says it's so great to have the dynamic duo back together. You guys are the best.
Thanks,
See,
Dave.
you don't have to say welcome back, Ken. the dynamic duo, that's good, right? Isn't that enough? GMFFBH, boy, everybody is latching on with that. Leanne, if you remember Leanne, I made the mistake, Ken, and what a dreadful mistake this was. And it was for no reason, by the way. I just think something happened at home, maybe. And I came home and had the audacity to say, Ken, I don't think Bounty is the quicker picker-upper.
Yeah.
And Leanne works for the company that makes Bounty. She goes, oh, no.
Excuse me, pal.
You hold on there, fatty. Welcome back, Ken. Really? Welcome back, Ken. Whatever. Maybe Indians from Canada are also Native Americans because Canada is part of North America, but it wasn't then. It was just more land. It was just land.
Yeah. They're indigenous folks.
I also just want to say that this was all just a joke. It was just like a comedy joke.
Right.
Native Canadians, Native Americans.
Exponentially.
Get your panties all up in a bun. Good morning, freedom fighters. Thank you, Dave. Oh, it's from Ken.
Good morning, St. Louis.
We got to hear about you. We got to hear from you in the chat box.
Right.
Thank you, Barbara. Welcome back, Ken. Whatever. Oh, Kathleen says we are all whoosh now.
I love it. Thank you.
Whoosh. It's like we are not the same, right? The Democrats tear cities apart. We pray, and we are all the whoosh now.
Yeah.
The whoosh is a unifying message.
That's right.
Paul, welcome back, Ken. Whatever,
Thanks,
man.
Paul.
Shut up. I'm mobile today, running appointments, but shout out to Camilla's at the Royal Mexican Restaurant in Pacific, Alex Escamilla, owner, for sponsoring Smoking for Veterans Barbecue Bash, October 25th at Clancy's Irish Pub in Ellisville. I said to my wife, we're going to go to that, right? And she said, oh, yeah. So I showed her that picture that I showed you of Paul.
Yeah.
Looking like the badass
right.
with the cigar and the cowboy hat, and the shirt and the tie. So I said to my wife, I said, so remember that barbecue thing where I told you we were going to go to together? She was like, yes. She'll come. She'll be with me. Let's see. When the state politicians in Minnesota were shot, the right didn't celebrate. We never said they deserved it for their horrible policies. When Shapiro's house was burned, we didn't celebrate that and say he deserved it. See, that's a great point because people are using those two politicians in Minnesota to throw back in our face because they think the guy that shot them was a Trump supporter, right? The guy with the No Kings flyers in the back of his car.
Right. And it was proven that he was anything but a conservative.
He was appointed by Waltz.
Right.
That's all you need to know.
And that's a great point. Now, reiterate that point because it's so true. I mean, those two people were murdered. They were Democrat officials, and they were murdered. Not one person said anything like, all right, let's go.
Right. Nobody said, man, I'm glad they're dead, like they said for Charlie. All right. Rumble. Ooh, boy, a lot of stuff in Rumble. We got time? Yeah, we'll try. Good morning, all freedom-fighting patriot Vic heads. Whoosh, my brothers and sisters.
Whoosh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. President, he's my President Trump. No fair elections.
No peace.
No fair tariffs.
No peace.
No. Correct. Thank you. Good morning. You know what we need? We need something like really slow motion. No peace.
We do.
Can you work
it just
on that?
fits there.
Can you work on it?
I will. I will make one.
Good morning, folks. Hi, Ken. Glad to see you back. All right, whatever. He's back. Okay,
Thank you
it was
so much,
3 hours
guys.
ago.
I
Oh, my
really
God.
appreciate it.
Enough. No tomorrow welcome backs. That's it. Because they don't say that to me when I go away and come back.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
They do every time.
Whoosh, that was precious. Whoosh, my brother. Would it kill you to hit the like button? Coyote6, thank you so much. Would it kill you to hit the like button?
Kill you.
Oh, apparently
You're
not.
mocking me, aren't you?
Lots of likes. Thank you very much. Also, if you could subscribe to our podcast, that would be great. Ken works. All right. So you're all welcoming back Ken. Oh, welcome back, Ken. Okay. And so he puts all these podcasts together. Are you not going to listen to these podcasts that welcome back Ken? has put together.
There you go, Vic. That's good.
Good morning, all you beautiful mega ultra patriotic, deplorable, garbage, degenerate, freedom fighting, God-fearing, big head weirdos. Wish button hit. Thank you so much. Serving at our church food pantry. Listening. Be back here soon. The darkest.
Great work at the food pantry.
He does it all the time. That's Ed.
Hey, Ed, that's great.
He does
man.
it all
That's
the
awesome.
time. He's always doing something for somebody. The darkest part is that so many people are celebrating a murder. Exactly right.
It still amazes me. I mean, and they still do it. It's like, are you watching what's happening here? Are you listening? And you're still doing it? I don't know.
Approximately 18,500 people are murdered with a gun yearly. The average reported defensive gun use is approximately 1.82 million. Over 100 times more lives saved by guns than taken down each year. Guns save lives. And don't forget, we have guns to protect ourselves against the tyrannical government, which the Biden administration absolutely was.
Yeah, and this is a big thing, and I don't want to get. I know we're doing the chat box, but I do want to say that Charlie Kirk said, they were saying, well, Charlie Kirk doesn't care about kids. He's saying that they're expendable and we have to have guns. No, what he was saying is we need to protect children like we protect politicians. Okay, we need guns in all of the schools like we have protecting politicians.
He also mentioned how many people get killed in car accidents.
Right.
We don't have car control. It's just the risk that you take when you get in your car.
Yes, and we have, as a country, as a people, have accepted that loss.
The only time communists don't lie is when they say they want you dead. They're telling the truth then.
Yeah.
Governor Abbott is still fighting the Muslim epic city in Texas. They want it to be law enforcement no-go zone and operate under Sharia law. Forget about it.
That can't happen. That cannot happen ever, anywhere. I don't care if it's Minnesota or Texas, wherever it is. It cannot. It has to be stopped.
This is good. There are real Christians and there are real Jews. Also, a lot of imposters. Don't be fooled by the imposters.
Well, Jesus warned about the imposters.
Look how the Catholic Church tried to convert Native Americans with their boarding schools. Look, I wasn't getting down on Native Americans. I was trying to tell a little joke.
I know.
Native Canadians.
Right.
Vic, they call them indigenous. Oh, my God. I'd rather see you say, welcome back, Ken. The use of the term Indies and Indians to 15th century explorers referred to a place or people in faraway lands. The name Native Americans could apply to all Indians throughout North America. It's a tough crowd. Tough crowd, I'll tell you. Tough crowd. No respect at all. Ken, you played Last Train to Clarksville, written by the great Bobby Hart of Boyce and Hart. Bobby Hart passed away over the weekend.
Oh.
I think he was 89, I want to say. If you love God, family, and country, you are Charlie. We are Charlie now.
Yep.
We call ourselves Indians. It's okay, Vic. If you have North America and South America, you are native to the lands of the Americans. You're Native American. I get it. I was a joke.
It's funny that one of the tour guide that took us on the tour in one of the canyons, she was Navajo, real sweet girl, Ayla, and but there was a young man out there, young people everywhere, by the way, with Make America Great Again hats on.
Great.
He had his own backwards, and she goes, let's see you. Okay, that hat, I hate it. Okay, anyway, and moved on. And I'm fine with that, Vic, because she was a nice person. I didn't want to hold it against her. She was wrong.
Yep.
But still, at the same time, we have that ability to look beyond that crap.
Exactly right.
And he laughed. And so we were all there disagreeing, but agreeing. It was kind of fun.
My daughter-in-law has Cherokee blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lives in Oklahoma. Hi, Karen. How you doing? That was from Ed to Karen Kataline. The Dems have success with their lies because the media is complicit and people are too lazy to do their research. Chat was off for me. Finally got it back. Rob whooshed it, Bluey.
Whoosh.
Vic, thank you for using my comments to you from yesterday. Yeah, we had a great conversation. So ask a libturd if the death penalty is justified? Answer, always no. Yet they tell you Charlie deserved to die. Hypocrisy at its highest. The libs are so against the death penalty, but they loved it for Charlie.
Wow, great point.
Sons of bitches.
But this is their godless society that they want. They don't want Christians because they don't have control over a Christian.
Right.
They need complete control there.
Yeah. These politicians that espouse this need to be voted out, outvote the cheating, watch ballots. I didn't read that very well, or you didn't write it very well, Ed, but we love you, right? Or the gloves are off. Investigate them, indict them, arrest them, and jail them for legal reasons of law breaking. Many HR departments and corporations have written in social media rules for their employees. You want to work here? Here are the rules.
Here are the rules. I mean, it makes sense.
And there are so many companies in so many different industries where you have a responsibility for your behavior away from work.
Yes.
We had that at the river. I don't know if you ever read your contract.
Yeah.
Contract
oh, yeah.
says,
Yeah, because you want to be careful because you want to keep your job.
Yeah, well, and because the image of the station, I get it.
Well, yeah.
know? Can I tell the story in a minute?
Yeah.
Let me see. Have you ever been accused of stealing gasoline?
Actually, a long time ago, yes. Early on,
That
yes.
happened to me when I was working at the river. I got cigarettes. I didn't even get gas. I bought cigarettes at the Shell station right at 270 in Manchester. My wife calls me and says, "Did you get gas at the Shell and not pay for it?" I said, "Do you think I got gas and didn't pay for it?"
Right.
Well, the police officer that here says you did.
Oh, wow.
So I had to go down there. I went to the gas station. They watched the tapes. And then I had a river shirt on. The cop goes, "Oh, well, you have a reputation you have to abide by too, right?" So
Yeah.
he thought about it
big time.
logically.
Big
Not
time.
to mention, I was almost out of gas. If I had stolen the gas, the gas gauge.
Right.
So,
To this day, I keep all receipts
Me
because
too.
of that. Because of that.
Exactly right.
Yep.
And always say yes. It's okay, Vic. We all love you. Hi, Ken.
Thank you.
They got to throw that in. Hi,
Of
Ken.
course.
Missed you, Ken.
Thank you.
Ken and Tim's get-togethers, dates and times listed on the site.
Get me out of here!
Okay. Did I not say that? One's in De Pere and one's in Clarkson.
This is taking forever.
Okay, wait a minute. Daniel Boone Library, Saturday, October 11th, 9 o'clock in the morning. They did that. Oh, no, it's on Saturday, 9 o'clock. Then Thursday, November 13th, 6 p.m. at the De Pere Lodge at 1050 De Pere Road. Is that good, Vicky? You heard the man. Gotta shut up. Welcome back, Ken.
Thanks, Vic.
Good to see you, baby.
Good to see you, man.
All right. Thank you for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
And we didn't get that too good while you were gone. Mike Ferguson in for Jamie next. See you tomorrow.
Hey, Mike Ferguson here. And for nearly 40 years, Nutrition Stop has been St. Peter's trusted source for natural living. They've got a great, knowledgeable staff offering more than just products. They provide guidance on your wellness journey with exceptional service. From 100% grass-fed meats like elk and bison and local produce to quality supplements and clean household products. 4101 Mexico Road in St. Peter's, just off the interstate at Cave Springs and Highway 70.
Looking for treasures from the past? Discover Mimi's Antiques Attic, your locally owned and family-operated treasure hunt destination. Explore 16,000 square feet of antiques, crafts, collectibles, and designer items across 225 unique rental spaces. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7, and Sundays, 10 to 6 at 1000 Warrenton Shops in Warrenton. Mimi's Antiques Attic, where every visit uncovers new treasures.
Hey, Jamie Allman here for O'Fallon Family Floors, O'FallonFamilyFloors.com. Brian and his team, they're just amazing people. They're so proud of their operation. Pride in every installation. You can see that in the Google reviews. Pride in the great quality, pride in the great pricing, pride in the great variety, and pride in the fact that you can go into the store right off of Highway K in O'Fallon, or the store will come to you. That's the promise of O'Fallon Family Floors, O'FallonFamilyFloors.com.
The Washington Guard presents the 4th annual Patriots Banquet, The Price of Freedom, honoring real American heroes. Join us October 11th at Parish Hall in Union, Missouri. Hear from featured speakers Doug Giles, founder of Warriors and Wild Men, and Marine Colonel Jack Jackson, Harrier jet fighter pilot. Master of Ceremonies Jamie Allman will host this inspiring evening. For tickets, visit thewashingtonguard.com. Use code NewstalkSTL for $10 off.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking